Zaslow. Cote. Roy Bellamy. Jeremy Tache. Tony Colariu. Chris Cote. Dan Le Batard.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic's up, cue.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show.
So how are we feeling today? It's Tuesday. Chris was not here yesterday. We know Monday Chris is a shit show, so usually Tuesday morning he'd be good to go. It's like we're going to get a really good version. But we were confused yesterday, Chris Cote, because you were out on Monday. So does that mean we skip right to, Tuesday Chris, who we like, or is today essentially your Monday and you're not going to be really good?
Well, I did go to Epcot over the weekend, so it's definitely going to be a Monday Chris.
Oh, no.
Now, granted, my Monday, I was not at Epcot. That was not yesterday. Yesterday was travel back day. So I had a little bit of a buffer, but I feel like it's still going to be a Monday, Chris. So be prepared.
Drive, or did you take the bright line?
A little beeline.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a treat. That's nice not having to make the drive back from Disney.
Unless your beeline back gets delayed for 2 hours, and then you're sitting there being like, I could have just drove, and I'd be halfway home.
You killed somebody, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did not. Somehow, it was the most packed. It was usually Brightline's a smooth experience. It was my first time dealing with the delay on Brightline, and the place was packed. I was sitting on the floor for a couple hours.
Darwin's hand. You know what? Billy Corbin, shut up. Yeah. You got to be an idiot to get run over by a train. There, I said it. There's alerts. They ring bells.
Yeah.
Stay off the tracks.
There's a train coming.
There's a train coming.
When these things go down, let's not cross anymore.
Yeah.
That's a good barometer.
It's not like someone's just casually walking down the street and a train just smashes into them. That's not what happens.
It's
with
not
trains.
the end of Back to the Future 3, where the train just appears from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And even then, the gates came down and the bells went off.
Billy, you got your priorities out of whack. Yeah. We should be pro public transit, and I understand. Look, the Bright Line and how it came about. Like, you can dig into it. That's all right. But rail travel is not a bad thing. All right.
Yeah.
And getting run over by a train is especially hard to do in this day and age.
They call it the murder train, but I don't believe it's ever committed murder.
Never.
It's an embarrassing way to die. I mean, if we're being honest. Now, I feel bad for anyone who's been hit by a train and died. But in the if I get hit by a train and die, I want to massage my obit a little bit. Like, I want to explain.
Write it for us.
Just like, I don't know, the train veered off the track.
Okay,
for example.
I'm with you.
I'm running in a field, and all of a sudden a train off the track is chasing me.
Running in a field with orphans that you have helped basically find new homes.
Yes.
And this is the last little party for the orphanage because we're shutting the orphanage down. All the orphans are done. Greg Cote did it. He placed all the orphans. And while he was getting ready to light the candles on the cake, one for each orphan who had found a new home, the train derailed, and then rolled until it got to the middle of the field. And just as Greg was looking up, and the kids were like ready for their first slice.
Yeah, and there were a flock of nuns who were about to be hit by the train, so I pushed all the
Pushed
nuns
them out of the way.
Yeah, I've never read an obituary that goes quite like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Generally, leave out.
The editor's gonna have a look. See, look, you can slip on a subway. That's a different type of death. I won't knock you as much if you die via subway or metro rail. Things can happen
Because you're in like a confined area.
right. But yeah,
And also, people push.
yeah, and there's no rails there. But the conventional
You know about
train,
those pushers?
the conventional train with railroad guards and whatnot. That come on, what year is this? And most of the time that's happening. It's because someone's trying to pull some sort of insurance scam and they didn't get out in time or something like that. Stop the insurance scams.
Mike,
Don't worry about the train.
You said, what year is this? And I'm trying to think, has there ever been a year where people get caught off guard by something going, choo, choo, from miles away.
I'm sure at some point there was a tipping point, like, we should probably block this intersection. I'm sure, the Model T was putt-putting around and like, I could see where this is an issue. We've had a handful of bad experiences. But since, we started having the good old-fashioned American infrastructure that we've come to know and love, and you got all these bells and whistles. I mean, how you getting killed by these trains? I know they're moving a little faster, but the alerts also moved along in lockstep.
Talk to me.
So, again, we are assuming the 2-hour delay had to have been for murder, right? Or, excuse me, for vehicular manslaughter.
It was wild because they got so backed up that, like, when I took off, there was, like, a train going to go out the next, 10 minutes. It was supposed to be every hour.
Yeah.
And there was some delay where I was supposed to go off at, 9:30. I didn't go off till 12, and then there was one at 12:30 and 12:45.
Chris, was it your decision or was it your wife's decision? Like, whose decision was it to take Brightline?
Well, we're doing it we liked it on the way up because we were going,
Whose decision was it, though? So we know who to blame.
It's a joint decision.
Joint decision.
That way
okay.
you can, they have if you get the premium, you get an open bar on the way
Smoke
up.
the joint just before the decision.
Whoa.
I'll never understand the cars that stop on the train tracks. Like, I'll be at the stoplight and you got the car. Like, I'm not saying the bars are down, yet. But the cars that will stop on the tracks, like
there's traffic
Yeah.
lights backed up, and so instead of just waiting on this side of the
what are
tracks,
you doing?
no, I've got to close that gap. I have to close the gap,
I don't know.
right?
I almost think to myself, I hope a train comes. Like, I don't understand.
You stop short?
Of the track?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'll be on the track sometimes.
What?
I'll be on
we
the track
found
sometimes.
him.
Yeah, I'll be on the track sometimes. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because, especially in Mike knows, because it's in his area to 97th and Kendall, right before the Palmetto, there's a train there that only goes by twice a day. Once at 10 o'clock in the morning, and once about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, I do, because my in-laws live right there. But that light is notoriously short. So if I'm not over on the tracks, I'm not making.
You're not
it.
going to make the light.
Yeah, and I need to make the light because I gotta go.
That train's not killing people, though.
It
It's
isn't.
just the bright line.
Because the bright line. Was it because it's new? I don't get it.
I don't get it because it's faster. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand how you die via train.
Maybe someone tied you up, to the tracks.
But
Guy with a
dastardly
mustache,
doer.
Yeah.
like a top hat.
That would be the headline. Unless Billy Corbin's across it, then he'd still find a way to blame the damn train.
So, Chris, you went to Epcot. Where else did you go?
That's it, just Epcot. And
Just
we visited,
Epcot?
We visited my wife's family friends up there the next day.
Man, as a kid, Epcot was always like the last park I wanted
Yeah,
to go
and then
to.
you turn 21, and it's like
Epcot's
golfers.
kind of good.
Yeah.
Chris, was this an adults only?
Yeah,
trip?
it was a joint bachelor party.
Oh,
You saw AJ
wonder.
Burnett.
I did. I ran into AJ Burnett.
No wonder he took the bright line.
AJ Burnett.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I was in England in the pub, and we started in Mexico. So we were, by the time you get to the
The
pub,
Rose
you
and
are
Thorn, great pub.
you are friendly.
Did you say anything to him?
And it was basically 20 of us, and I, of course, as Tony knows, no one spots somebody out in the wild better than me.
I mean, he's all tatted up.
I know that's true.
No,
He
but
is-
Chris, Zaz, you don't get it though. Chris, we went to the Super Bowl together. We've been to a bunch of
I
places.
just
together.
have an eye for
He's got an
celebrities.
eye like a sniper. He's like, oh, you see that guy right there?
So I have.
I'm good at it too, actually.
I go up to
ahead.
my buddies and I go, "It's not very often in your life when AJ Burnett's right behind you." And then they both "Oh my god!" And then I actually did because I was like, "Let's not do this to him." So as we're walking out, I didn't want to
Yeah.
do the whole.
You do the
I do the
big fan.
AJ little dap, and
Big
I
fan?
walk out. And
Not
then
even big fan?
my friends are the biggest jerks. And then I walk out and leave, and then 10 seconds later, Chris, come back. It's like one of my stupid friends is like, "This kid works for a podcast. You should go on his." So next thing I know, I'm being summoned back over
Terrible.
by one of my friends being like, "Hey, Chris, you should get him on your pod." And I'm just so mortified. I
That's
literally,
terrible.
I tried to wave it off. Like, no, I already said hello. Please don't make me come.
The interaction was good. I don't
have
want to ruin it.
I have 10 people being like, "No, seriously, Chris, come back." And then it's just this awkward thing where AJ was being so nice. He's just like, "Yeah, DM me. I'll come on." And I'm just like, "Sure, dude." Which we should have him on.
should have AJ Burnett
It's not
on.
that I don't want him on. I was just so mortified by that whole thing.
DM him right now.
Do it, you coward. Hey,
Okay.
DM him right now.
All right, I will.
See if you get a hold of him
We'll
before
get
the
him
end
on-
of the show today.
Today, okay.
Yeah. DM him right now.
Come to think of it, I think I saw AJ Burnett at Universal one time. I think I have a picture with him 15 years
Does he
ago.
live in Orlando?
I
What's
swear to God.
happening?
I'm
What
going to
you-
ask my wife.
What you tend to do when you're in a group like this and you see a celebrity,
He's a Disney adult,
you
AJ
check,
Burnett.
you look up the net worth, and you're like, "Man, he probably goes to Disney whenever he wants." That dude made a lot of money.
Man,
You think he's got the annual pass?
I'm just
Let me
saying.
tell you something. The Lopez twins, I just saw this weekend, they went to Disneyland again. I tell people all the time, like, they are living their wildest dreams. Like, they have a house on the property here at Disney World. And so everyone's like, wow, so they made all that money and got to go to Disney all the time. I said, they were going to Disney before they played in the NBA. Like, their family trip would go to Disneyland every year. The brothers.
So they were destined to be Disney adults no matter what.
No matter what. Like, every year.
You know what Disney adult is, Greg?
No, but I'm marveling at the idea that you need pro athlete money to go to Disney World. I mean, anybody can go.
Have you
these
seen?
days.
When's the last time you went to Disney?
It's been
World?
years. It's been
There
a
you
few
go.
years.
What would you guess the get-in prices for a Disney park these days?
Basic get in the
But
door.
which we know everybody has to then buy the fast pass. But okay, the
okay,
basic
per day,
price.
I'm gonna say roughly $75.
Oh my God,
Greg,
you are out of touch.
Greg, you think Bob Iger is buying the Lakers?
You are
charging
so out of touch.
$75 at the door? Hell no.
It's a lot closer to 200 than 75.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, give us another. Thank you.
What did we break a window?
75? That'd be amazing if it was
Greg, that's
75.
lunch.
Okay. All right.
Family four, you're and this is obviously you have to get the fast passes because you have kids. Family four, you are well over $1,000.
I don't get the fast passes. I tell my kids, hey man, we're game planning today. We're running we're running plays and stuff. Like, okay, 40-minute
Pick and
wait here.
roll.
Yeah, it's all crazy. And then don't let a ride be shut down because now we got our eye on that ride.
We're running actions.
When it opens. Oh, absolutely.
Floppy.
Absolutely, man. But like, here's the deal, because for years, my kids go to Disney wherever they want. Dad worked for Disney, got myself a little pass.
Yeah.
Show up, me, 3 kids, let's go in, da-da-da. Free parking, 25, 30% off of concessions, off of merch, all that stuff. So like,
Where do you make magic?
Yeah. And they used to do that. I used to say ESPN. And they're like, whoa! 'cause
Welcome home.
They would be waiting for me to say something like the Disney store at this mall over here. I'm like, no, I have a real job.
The free parking. Welcome
First time
home.
I went with my pass and she said, "Where do you make magic?" I was so fucking confused.
It's in the bedroom.
What does
I
that
know
mean?
What to say?
Why do they ask, where do you make magic? I don't get
It's the Disney way of asking where are you
Where do you
employed
work in the
within
Disney
company.
company?
The Miami Heat Radio Network studios.
that. Okay. Oh, I get that now. What costs more for a family of 4, a day at Disney or a day at, say, a Heat game? Is it comparable?
Oh no, Disney a lot
Disney
more.
a lot more.
A lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, Heat games are obviously very expensive, but you could do it economically if you want.
You don't have to, like, here's the deal.
You don't have a lot of choices with Disney.
Yeah, for a Heat game, I don't have to get great seats. I can get okay seats that are still expensive, but then the concessions, there are things that are semi-affordable. Disney, everything is expensive, and it's all made to influence your children and say, Daddy, I want that. And, again, luckily for me, I had my kids desensitized and known, hey, now, we're not getting everything over here. Just pick one thing or whatever. But it's all meant to tug at the heartstrings and the purse strings at the same time, kind of like Geppetto, just
Right. Okay. Do they still have the giant turkey thing?
Of
That's-
course.
your ass.
The emu leg, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Good. Some
I'm
things
mortified
never change.
sending this message, by the way.
But he told you to.
I know, I'm doing it. I'm just saying I don't feel good about this.
Tell us what the message says, please.
Hey, AJ.
Gotta
Great
sell
meeting
that.
you the other day at Epcot. What else am I got to
No, you keep going.
Any shot you want to jump on the podcast we talked about? Anytime before 11:30 Eastern works for us. We can do any day this week if today doesn't work.
But Chris, also stop downplaying it like you're doing out of a basement. It's a Dan Le Batard show. It's a pretty big show. Are you?
I think you need to mention it's the Dan Le Batard.
Yeah.
I assume that was said to him
No.
before I was.
If he said my buddy does a podcast, that means he has no idea that you work for the Dan Le Batard show.
He's probably super familiar with your dad and Dan because they were around the park plenty.
Greg, have you,
Am I wrong?
wait, hold on.
Around the park, plenty may be stretching. it.
You were
gratuitous.
around the
I
park.
have met AJ Burnett.
No,
before.
but in like when he was pitching
Dan
for the
used
Marlins.
to be in the clubhouse back then.
Yeah, when he was pitching for the Marlins, you were seen there more often.
More often, you're right.
Greg,
Yes.
have you written anything about AJ Burnett in your career?
I think back when he was their
Threw a
top
no-hitter.
pitcher, of course.
He
yeah.
threw a no-hitter.
The old 8 walk no hitter.
So, Chris, this is what you do. You pull up your dad's old columns, talking about AJ Burnett in a
Sure.
positive fashion.
Yeah.
Say, yeah, my dad has fond memories of covering you as a Marlin.
That's right.
And he'd love it if you were on the show.
What's he doing now, AJ?
Going to Epcot with his family,
Oh,
living life.
Is he like retired at
Yes.
age 40? Or
No, he's
whatever?
actually pitching tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in the 4 spot for the pods.
I meant retired from public life.
I did reference one thing to him that he hit me with the, like, if let's all play the game. If I'm going to reference something to AJ Burnett where he's like, oh, this thing that everyone can't, like, everyone brings it up every time they talk about it. What's the thing I'm bringing up? It's not the no-hitter. Come on, guys.
You hit the pickup truck.
There it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's the guy that hit the window in the truck.
Smashed the window.
And
of the truck.
he did the thing of like, oh, of course you want to talk about that. But anyways, that was
Well, don't mention that.
Here's the lead from a Greg Cote column. Trade AJ Burnett for a bat and a Band-Aid.
Oh no.
No.
It's the first thing that comes up when I Google
That
Greg
cannot
Cote,
be
AJ
true.
Burnett.
What year?
I'm not denying it, but that cannot be true.
Let me check. Hold on.
02? 04?
05.
Oof.
Chris, don't mention your father anymore. Never mind.
Is it too early to judge the season a failure by Greg Cote?
I mean, AJ Burnett did
Sounds
have
like
a
me.
sour exit from the organization, so that was probably Greg piling on a little bit
could be.
there.
I'm gonna say this, Greg. In the moment, you are exactly the columnist that this market needed to hold people accountable.
Yeah.
right.
You were our white knight.
Thank you very
The
much.
problem is now, as a member of the show, it's working against us horribly because how are we gonna get? We can't get Dan Marino on.
You're
now
not
we
the
can't
hero
get
we
AJ Burnett
wanted.
on.
You're the
That's
hero
true.
we needed.
Yeah.
Was the hero we needed back then, but not right now.
I like to pretend Dan and I have a pretty good relationship, but, you know, that kind of thing.
I mean, how we framed it. Of course. You
Hold
don't
on a
have
second. You don't think Marino thinks very highly of you, is what you're saying?
Well, the last time we were in each other's company was at the introductory for the new head coach and GM, which was like 7 months ago. And we were both out there, and we schmoozed a little bit. You know, we shook hands. We pretended like all is well. But then I've asked him to be on my podcast a couple of times, and his guy politely turns it down. So I have to think that.
but he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Do they say, oh, Dan's not got time, or nah, he's not going to do that? Is that straight no?
Do you get the he's politely declining?
Yeah, he's politely declining. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, I have nothing against Marino.
You get super
He's great.
sensitive though when people say no to your podcast.
Well, it's okay. I don't ask twice. Let's put it that way.
Bench Mike Lowell. Drop Juan Pierre in the order. Banish Al Leiter to the bullpen. Trade AJ Burnett for a bat and a Band-Aid. Do something today.
Yeah, those are 05 headlines for
Yeah,
sure.
it was a different time. You're trying to sell some papes.
Yep. That team had a lot of
call them Patriots.
expectation.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did anyone? So I'm not watching the Marlins every night, but last night I was watching the Marlins. Jeremy convinced me. Big series with the Phillies, and so I'm in the Zaslow Mansion family room, and I'm watching my stories obviously on the big TV. Greg, Monday Night Raw's on.
Sure.
And
how big is it?
My big TV in the Zaslow Mansion family was not that big.
Yeah,
It's
65.
no, I think it's 55.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm always tempted to get a bigger one because I know I should probably have a bigger one. I've had this TV for 10 years, but it's good TV. Like, I don't know. Why do I need another one?
I don't believe in getting rid of TVs
right.
that work.
It's a great TV.
We just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We traded up and we moved this set to that wall.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
No, that's okay.
That's okay.
You can get demoted. You
Yeah.
won't get fired in my house.
No, I did not fire the TV
Yep.
set.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to put this 55. Like, there's no other room or bedroom that I would put this 55-inch set in. So, I'd be getting rid of a good TV somewhere there, and I don't see the point in that.
Do you have an outdoors, like a patio?
I do, and I have a TV out there. Yeah.
I love that Zaz and I both refer to it as a TV set, even though it really hasn't been a set. A set is like the old Magnavox console
Yeah.
that was like this long.
10 years ago,
Wood, it had those
Right,
legs
yes.
that were standing outwards.
before
like
this TV, I very famously, in the Zaslow Mansion family room, I still had a projection TV.
Oh, wow. How is that working out?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved
You got
that
a nice
TV.
blank wall for that to project onto? Or
No. You don't put it on the
Oh,
wall.
you're talking about, I'm sorry. It was like the first flat screen, right?
Yeah,
Where
and it was huge.
yeah, it was heavy.
You would roll it. You would roll it in that
Yeah.
if you needed to. You could roll it out of the room.
What'd you do with it?
We put it on the curb.
No, it's going to be worth something one day, man.
Okay,
it's going to
not-
be worth something. All those TVs are worth
All right,
something.
Jeremy, get out of here.
Not
We're not going to
anymore.
talk Marlins.
Look at him sneaking in. Jeremy sneaking in because I mentioned how I watched the Marlins last night.
Oh, no, I
Call
thought
you
it-
if we need you, Jeremy.
I thought it was because he heard AJ Burnett's name. He
It
came
was.
in. He's not even working today. How's he here?
Came from his house when he heard AJ Burnett.
Did you send him the
He
picture?
spawned in right when someone mentioned
Waiting for
Marlins. So I got the Marlins on the smaller TV in the Zaslow Mansion family room, and the Marlins they're down 4-1. Okay, you bring it. All right, bring him in. The Marlins are down 4-1 in the 7th inning, 2 out, 2 strike 2, and Javier Sonoya's at bat with bases loaded.
Tying run on first base.
Yeah, and it's a game that the Marlins just haven't been able to put anything together. They're down 4-1. Bases are loaded, and Sonoya hits one down the right field line, which is called foul. And if it were properly called, all 3 runners easily score, okay? And you see on the replay, the Marlins immediately challenge. Sonoya is, you rarely see this type of emotion from a player. He is angry as he's running toward first base because he knows that ball was fair. They show the replay. It's one of the worst calls you'll ever see.
And
it's
the umpire
right in front of him.
And the umpire's 6-7 feet from where it hits the line.
The ball, it's not one of those where, like, the chalk, it gets dusted up.
Yeah.
I think the ball completely hits fair territory. It
I
was.
thought it hit the line. I mean,
It hit the
we're
line, but it
splitting
was
hairs,
clearly
No, but that's the
fair.
point.
Wait, what was his name?
Javier Sonoya. Am I saying his name wrong?
Sonoha.
Okay, whatever.
I was just
50 cents.
All right.
Penalty. Yeah.
And so the question here is not, are the Marlins going to win the challenge? They're going to win the challenge. It's, how are they going to make a ruling here? Which has always been the thing when you add replay to baseball. It's like, you can't just assume runners are going to score,
It's one of those things where the umpire calls it foul. So it's like the play stops. Whereas if he were to let the play on, and then you can go back and reverse it. So he basically, you got to err on the side of calling that fair if it's close.
Yeah.
That's the real mistake there.
This is sort of like the touchdown rule in football, where it's
let
like
it play
just
out.
let it play out, let it be a touchdown, and you can always go back and change it.
I'm surprised that they actually have the rule that they can, you know what I mean? They call a play dead, and they're actually doing the right thing of like, this is what would have happened, so we're just going to.
Well, that was the initial debate when we added replay to baseball, which is, are we just going to assume that the runner from second was going to score, which, yeah, we can assume that. And we should also assume that the runner from first was going to score. But they did not grant the runner from first. They put the runner from first on second. They scored the other 2 runs to make it 4-3, which sucks. And Clayton McCullough comes out and just gets ejected immediately.
Instantly.
Yeah, immediately. And I kind of feel like in that spot, like I know, so you get ejected if you argue balls and strikes immediately. I think you also get ejected immediately if you argue a replay, right? I think that's the
Yes.
same rule.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, don't you just let the manager have his say when he clearly got screwed in that spot? Why does he get ejected?
Well, he kept yapping, though, after he was thumbed. He kept...
No, what I'm saying, he shouldn't have been thrown out. That's what I'm saying.
Probably.
He's the one who got screwed.
Right. He did get screwed, but I think 2 things. Number one, the umpire who blew that call, standing right there and watching it,
Staring
should
right
have been
at it.
immediately fired from baseball.
He should have been ejected.
Rob Manfred should have materialized on the field and bum rushed him off the field and out of the sport. Number 2, I think the umpire ultimately made the right call to allow only 2 runs in. Because if he allows all 3 runs in, then the other umpire is the one coming out and getting ejected and protesting.
Is that what would that have happened?
I think so. And I think the safe call for the umpire was let 2 runs in, but not that 3rd. I thought it was fair. Now, my wife's watching the game with me. She's outraged like most people.
As she should be.
But I think that it was the safe call.
I'm with my
by the
dad.
umpire.
Once the awful call is made, like our true beef here is just don't make that call. Once the call is made, I get where the rule has to be. It gets so subjective if it's just, all right, you know what? I've decided here that runner on first. I know Jeremy's telling me that the rule actually states it's
Jeremy's
their judgment.
dying to get in here. Go
The
ahead.
rule is technically that it's up to interpretation of the umpire. So they're supposed to assume what was supposed to happen. Like you mentioned,
Come on,
in baseball,
man.
you can't assume the double play. That's the way that earned runs end up factoring into games. But the way that rule technically works is that the umpires decide where those runners end up. And so what they claim in this circumstance was with 2 outs, and Otto Lopez rounding second base. He was the runner from first, rounding second base.
This happens to be on the replay right now on one of our monitors here in the room. I mean, is this the first time you're seeing
That's
this?
the first time I'm seeing the play, and it clearly hits right.
Clearly fair ball.
Clearly fair.
Like,
No
you
argument.
rarely
I don't think it hit the
see-
line. I think it was totally in play.
Even if it hit the line, you never. Like, these guys are normally so automatic about this call.
It's like he wasn't even
It
paying
was
attention to the umpire.
Shocking. And he was looking right at it. He's right there.
Do they get eye checks every year, the umps? Right? Because
assume.
once you're you need corrective vision, you got to be out, right? That's it. That the whole job is being able
They got a
to
union.
But I'm just saying the whole job is being able to see things. If you can't see, they kind of compromises your ability to do the job.
But the Marlins already had beef with the umpires at this point because in the half inning before that, John King was on the mound, and it is monsooning. Like, it is pouring rain to where after each pitch, John King is getting the ball back and throwing the ball out because the ball is too wet. He told the umpire, I can't feel the ball. I can't grip the pitch. And so multiple runners walked in that inning. They ultimately scored too. It was a 2-1 game going into the bottom of the sixth inning. Now, the Marlins did score in the top half of the sixth, in part because it had started raining and Christopher Sanchez was not as sharp in that inning. Griffin Conine drove in a run, so you got to give them that. But it started raining hard, and because the radar said it will lighten up at some point, they didn't put the tarps on the field. But Clayton McCullough, in that half inning before, had to come out and talk to the umpires and be like, guys, what are we doing here? He can't grip the ball. After every pitch, he's needing to discard the baseball, even when he's throwing it for a strike and getting the ball back. And so they were already frustrated with the umpires. Then to start that at bat with Sanoja's walking into the box. They call him for a pitch clock violation on the hitter. So he starts the at bat down 0-1 already. And it was the second or third time in the game where the Marlins had been called for that, which I haven't seen basically all year long, having multiple of those called. So they're already frustrated with the umpires. And then this line drive ends up clearly fair. It's called foul. It costs them the run. They end up getting out of the inning. And in the end, look, the Marlins walked a bunch of hitters. Their relief pitchers didn't help. Every time they scored a run, they allowed another run to come back up.
You also had one of the worst challenges you'll ever see.
Oh, my God. It was awful. It was an awful challenge from Vodnik on the hill where it was a pitch that was like 5 inches outside.
He challenged the ball 4 that was called. The ball was 6 inches
But
off
it was
the plate.
seemingly just out of frustration at that
that's
point.
stupid.
No, of course. It was an awful, awful, awful decision. And to put your team in that spot, I can imagine there was a conversation after. The pitchers on the Marlins, that might be the first challenge I've seen from a pitcher all year.
It was an embarrassing
They
challenge.
do not challenge as pitchers. And clearly, there was a level of frustration with the rain and everything that was going on. But even then, in the next half inning, as the Marlins had all of these issues with the mound, now when the Phillies are on the mound, we're going to change out the thing on the back of the mound so that they can, kick out their spikes better. So that way the Phillies pitcher, it was over and over and over again, including the same umpire later in the next inning, a check swing, debatable on Real Muto, and hey, no makeup call. Yeah, it's baseball.
All right.
Give me a makeup call.
Thank you, Jeremy. Everybody
It was
give it
fun.
up for Jeremy.
Fun day. Hey, thanks.
All right, well done.
Marlins got host.
There you go. Give it up for Jeremy.
Drive safe home.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
MLB should give him the win.
So it was fair or it was
Im-
foul? I
impartial
wasn't listening to
opinion there.
Jeremy.
It was
See you
fair.
later.
It's fair, okay.
But it was really foul.
Gotcha.
You know?
So it was foul but fair.
It was foul, and then they made it fair, but that was foul.
Foul out on the
Gotcha.
prowl.
Javier Sonoya.
Whatever. I'm not going to be embarrassed by that.
Javier
I don't
Sonoya.
care.
It's close. You were close.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Javier Sonoya.
You have him as being Serbian or something by
Okay.
making the J.
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he is.
Maybe he
Javier
is.
Sonoya.
Could be.
I don't know that he's not Serbian.
I don't think
I'm not going to assume just by looking at somebody that I know what they're about.
That's a good point.
Javier
Well,
Sonoya.
I would never do that.
You don't see color. I like that about you.
Greg, you are upset after the AP poll came out yesterday. The first AP poll of the college football season, preseason, came out 2 weeks after the coaches poll came out.
Yep.
But everyone likes the AP poll. We don't care about the coaches poll. And the Canes are ranked number 7. It's almost virtually the same. I think Texas and Notre Dame were flip-flop between one and the other. You think the Hurricanes are ranked a little bit too low?
I do. And I was prepared for the AP poll because, like you say, other polls have come out and, ESPN rankings and blah, blah, blah. Everybody's a sheep. They're all lemmings. They all follow each other. So the thing is, let's rank UM about 7th. And the reason I think it's too low is for the simple facts. I don't think Indiana should be ranked particularly high but they should be ranked high because they're the effing reigning champion. Miami's the reigning runner-up, okay? Why should they be ranked appreciably lower than 2 when they're the number 2 team in the country returning? They scored big in the portal with another quality starting quarterback. Mario Cristobal has proved himself by this time. I just think they're low. If I'm taking the over-under on where they finish, I'm going to take the over on that. I don't. Maybe Mike feels
So you
differently.
think they finish as like the 12th seed? Because higher?
No, higher in the ranking.
That is always confusing. If you know, like when we're at the draft, you know, you want to, I want to get a higher pick. Well, what does that mean?
It's very confusing.
Yeah, that's true.
I do think they'll finish the season higher than 7, in large part. Not
But you
even-
mean closer to 1, or is
say
that like a
better-
higher number?
Let's say better or worse.
I think they'll be better. Yeah, I think they'll be closer to 1. The main reason, outside of them, I think genuinely, even though they lost a good amount of talent, I think they replaced that talent.
Right.
And they've developed some guys. I think I'm excited about the quarterback. I think Miami's more talented than they were last year. And right now, Miami's only slotted to play 1 ranked team. So when you're trying to handicap, because every year with the exception of 2019, a team that is in the preseason top 10 ends up unranked. Last year we had 3, and then you have the nerve to say, I don't think Ohio State's going to be number 1 at the end of the season, and everyone loses their mind. A big part of why Miami is positioned well is how weak the ACC is.
Right. And so if you're trying to analyze the mindset of the electorate, okay, I don't know how many voters there are, 80, 100, whatever. Is it that a lot of people don't quite trust Mario all the way yet? Is that a lot of people think they overachieved last year? Like, what explains number 7 to you?
The conference.
But the conference,
I'm just saying that, but perception, that whole the whole thing. If we were an SEC team, they'd probably be ranked 3rd.
Okay,
yeah, but all right, but that's a 0.4 when we're trying to project whether or not they're going to run through this schedule that they have. I understand the Big Ten is the best conference in America. I do. I think it can be simultaneously a little overrated, but also the best. I think this stuff will figure itself out. Ohio State has a tough schedule. Georgia has a tough schedule.
Georgia?
Texas. I don't know. See, like, this is where the SEC thing does play, even though Texas did improve their skill talent across the board. They spent a lot of money and acquired a lot of guys at flashy positions. But the things that were impeding them last year remain. Now, I think they underachieved last year, and you can have your questions about Sark. But for them to just be slotted over Miami kind of disregards everything that we saw play out last season. So I'm with Greg, but I think that was the absolute floor. I would have gone, what is Texas A&M doing above us? We beat them. But we'll see. All this stuff is silly. I do hate how it frames the discussion for the entire season. But Miami's going to do its thing, and Miami will be there in the end.
The place where we talked a little bit about this yesterday, the place where the preseason polls, I think, do wind up meaning something. Sometimes, unfortunately, it could be in a negative way. If you got a team here who is being completely overestimated and you beat them the first week of the season, you get credit for beating a ranked team.
Right.
When, no, they weren't any good and the voters didn't know what they were talking about. Or the beginning of the season, you beat a team that's not ranked and they end up finishing the season ranked. You don't get credit for beating a ranked team because we were all uninformed.
Or worse, if you lose to an unranked team and they end up being one of the best teams in the country, but at the time they were unranked.
It's not a good loss.
It's
then.
not a good loss for you, but that's why I asked, do the polls actually matter?
Yeah, so
right?
I think it does as a result.
They do.
Yeah.
But does it?
They tell us that they take it into account when they're sorting through resumes.
But the committee, when the committee looks at it, we'll use the example of, I lost to a team that was unranked. Well, that's a bad loss. But then at the end of the year, like, that team actually went undefeated and they're one of the best teams in the country. The committee's like, well, but at the time they weren't. So they don't do that. They take it into account.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. Like, should I not beat this team because this team is ranked 22 right now? But if I beat them, then they cease being ranked.
Yes.
For Miami, you're trying to see how this season plays out. I think most people, they're an underdog at South Bend, right? So I think most people are like, well, that's probably a loss. Well, if that's the loss, let's look at this resume. You're going to have a who did they beat discussion when it comes down to Miami. this year as they're trying to rank these people. Now, they ultimately have to get to Charlotte. They've only been to Charlotte once. They have to win that game. If they win that game, they'll boost their resume likely against a ranked opponent. When I saw the rankings, Clemson, unlike the coaches poll, is unranked in the preseason AP poll. So that would have been the only other ranked team on their schedule looking at the start of the season. However, there's teams like Virginia Tech. That game at Clemson, we'll see that most people have LSU beating Clemson week 1, but by that time they could right the ship.
I'll be there for that.
Yeah, and Pitt. Like, you have 3 teams that are going to be hovering around that. Will they be ranked? Will they not be? SMU and Louisville, I was glad to see Louisville ranked.
I'll be there for that.
You'll be there for that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, all right.
If you say a game I'm going to be at, I'm going to tell you.
I appreciate that. But I do think Miami has to worry about the perception of their conference, and the preseason just solidifies that this is a 2-conference world, and the media is going to do its part in pushing that narrative through, even though when it comes to the SEC, the emperor has no clothes.
And the ACC is must-win. You mentioned Charlotte. ACC, absolute must-win for Miami. They're such an overwhelming favorite this year, which they weren't last year, more so than last year. I think they got 165 out of 180 first-place votes to win the ACC. They have to win. As long as conference championship games continue to matter to the CFP, must win ACC this year for Miami.
Is SMU the next best, supposed to be the next best ACC team?
Yeah, according to these rankings.
Been a pain in the ass for the Hurricanes.
I want to know the one AP voter that voted Miami number 1. Let's
get to the bottom of it.
Question.
Greg, you got to find out.
Let's get Pablo on that.
Who's the AP guy?
He's busy.
Who's the local AP guy?
I think it's Jordan McPherson, isn't it?
Who, he might be.
He knows what he did last year.
I know.
He knows what he did?
He knows what he did last year.
Trying to make up for it.
He knows what he did last
Compensating?
year. Let's say, he made Miami's path a little bit harder, old Jordan.
I'm going to text
And he had
Jordan.
a whole bunch of excuses.
I'm going to
He was right here. Don't worry. Yeah, I told him. Yeah. That was an on-site. When the kids say on-site, that was on-site.
You told him you know what you did?
Yeah.
On our side?
Yeah. I told
He was
him to
right
clean
here. He was
that
10
shit
feet
up.
away. He was right there.
He knows what he did?
Yeah, there was a ranking that we could have used, and he had Notre Dame ahead of Miami. Our own guy.
Our own guy.
My dad's going to text him. We're going to see if it's him.
And tell him we know what he did. Javier Sonoya.
Tony's about to leave because he's headed to go see if he can talk to Giannis and Bobby Portis. But I think there's a problem in that these guys are doing a lot of media today. And I heard Zaz grumbling because I think that
Dan, I'm sitting at the table out there. You know, we're doing production stuff. I'm finishing my bagel. Tony's finishing it. Tony gets a huge plate every morning for breakfast. If you're wondering all the money that's being spent here at breakfast, Tony has one of everything every morning. Okay, whatever.
What?
Yeah. I look at your plate, you got everything.
I got a little bit of egg, a little bit of bacon, and a little bit of potato. What's wrong with that?
Sausage?
No.
Yes.
Not today. Not today.
Anyway, he's finishing his plate. I'm finishing my bagel. All right. And I say, yo, I'm getting Bobby Portis today on Zaslow Show 2.0. And he says, yeah, I'm getting Bobby Portis too. I'm going to the arena. I go, okay, cool. What time? He goes, 2 o'clock. I go, I'm scheduled for 2 o'clock.
We're both scheduled for 2 o'clock. Guess who's going to get him?
Me.
I'm going to be in person.
I was a broadcaster for the Miami Heat radio network for 12 years.
What have you done for me lately, Eddie?
You've done nothing ever for
What
them.
are you talking about? I was just at Heat camp. Insane? You nuts, man?
I have 2 championship rings. I'm a champion
I'm
broadcaster.
trying to bring more championships over there.
He was a proud member of the Junior Heat.
Okay, we'll see. I'm going to get him. They're going to give him to me before you. And you know what? It's going to be extra insulting for you because you're actually going to be there in person. I don't need to go in person. I'm going to be right here. And they're going to call me on the stream, on a video link. And they're going to give him to me before you. You know what?
Yeah.
He's going to be on video with me. You're going to be standing next to him waiting.
If that happens, I'm
That's
going to
what's gonna
derail
happen.
the interview.
That's what's going to
I'm
happen.
going to derail the interview.
I dare you to do that.
Neither of you are going to get him if I ask for him.
Ooh!
No, but you're going to be here. Who cares?
If we're being honest here, since you joined the broadcast, teams on no winning. Okay, so I don't know.
They went to the
about-
finals my very first season.
Again, no winning.
You were an ancillary piece.
No winning.
They hoisted babies because
You
of
were
me.
an ancillary piece. Come on.
So I don't know what you're bragging about.
You were
over there.
behind Hewitt on the depth chart.
Okay, Hewitt. I only got to do it because Kirsten Hewitt left.
Do it, Hewitt.
Do it, Hewitt.
What do you think is going to be the end result here, Mike? Because
I already told you. Wasn't predictions.
And be like,
Spoiler.
Zazzle's going to get pushed back. We're gonna
I don't
do
think
this.
any of us get him.
That'll be a big surprise because they told me I got him.
I will 1,000% have him on Zaslow Show 2.0 today.
All right, Dan, I'm going to go get Bobby Portis.
what was,
No. Your appointment's not till 2 o'clock.
No, I'm getting there at 11:30. Doors open at 11:30. I'm going to be there right now.
You know what? That's just more time you're going to be standing around and waiting because you're going to be standing next to Bobby Portis. Waiting.
I'm telling you, call him Bobby Portis. You're done. Somebody cut that for me.
That never happened. How dare you? How dare you?
Number 29, Jimmy Graham.
Wow.
Number 28, I Show Speed.
Ah, come on.
can I take,
Zaz is your boy.
Not my boy.
Can I take a quibble with your list real quick? Just let me take a quibble. How is Jimmy Graham ahead of Tony Gonzalez? Like, what are you doing?
I think Jimmy Graham was a better college basketball player.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that dude ate glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And neck is a tight end.
And like they were only
Not-
separated.
not
Neck and neck is a tight end,
not
Dan.
neck-
Yeah,
no,
they're-
Look at Jimmy
yeah.
Graham's seasons, Dan.
No, Tony Gonzalez is better, but like in terms of the back of the, I mean, Jimmy Graham just casually started playing football, dude.
Right.
I think like the ease that it came to be an all timer separates them, and again, they're only separated by Jameis Winston on this list. Yes, but they're both behind I Show Speed. Number 27, Kenny Lofton.
You've fallen in love with I Show Speed.
I think it's an incredible story.
You've
The guy-
come around on him.
No,
Stupid story.
I've always been in on him. The guy was barking at people in front of like a couple dozen Twitch streamers, and then he's playing before the World Cup. It's an incredible story. It's an incredible American story.
What was he playing?
He was playing one of his songs.
You haven't been always in on him. You've been what Zaz is presently, where you were saying to yourself, what is it about this guy? And then the first time you actually got informed, you're like, oh, I get it.
No, the first time that I put effort into like watching it and the stuff that he does, and admittedly,
What's he do?
It's not for me. It's skewed to a younger audience, but he's.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings Sports. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Chris Cote, have you heard back from friend of the show AJ Burnett yet on his appearance?
I have not. I'll keep you updated.
All right. Greg, have you heard back yet on your investigation into who was the AP voter, the one AP vote that had the Miami Hurricanes
I
number
have
one?
an update. I'm the new Pablo Torre. Jordan McPherson got back to me, said, "Hi, Greg. I'm not an AP voter this year." But
Good. Consequences.
But he would have had them 2 to 4, like in the 2 to 4 range.
Yeah, everyone understood
If
that.
he was a voter, he had Oregon first. The new AP voter locally is Adam Lichtenstein of the Sun Sentinel,
What do you say?
who apparently voted him third. And I have more information.
More.
The word in the street is that the lone first-place vote for the Miami Hurricanes was cast by a Syracuse writer named Javon Edwards. Unofficial, but that's the word in the
Good
street.
on you, Javon.
Wow.
On the street.
Send
On
him
the
a
street.
DM now, Chris. Ask him
Yeah.
if he was the guy.
And will he come on the show
Yeah.
to defend his pick?
Yeah, ask if he will come on the show to confirm or deny.
Yes. That's Javon Edwards of the Syracuse Post-Standard.
To tell him word on the street is that he was the vote, and we would like him to confirm or deny.
On air.
Yeah.
I have a question for Greg really quick as newspaper man of old. How did newspapers decide what their name was going to be? Because you had Syracuse Post-Gazette, then you've got the Standard, whatever, and then you got this and that. Like,
My favorite, Tony, is the Seattle Post-Intelligencer.
Yeah, that's fun.
That is fun, right?
Picayune.
I always think it was funny when you ran into one that was like the Miami News. It's like you can't be more creative than news. But as old as I am, it was already the Miami Herald when I started working for it, so I have no idea that origin. I don't know how.
It's weird, like the names, like they just pick these random names and then just like that's part of what it is now. And there's only like a certain lexicon of words that you can add as the name of a newspaper.
That's true. It's a good point.
The New Orleans Times Picayune.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
a good
crazy.
One. That's a good one. So, big news of the day yesterday is
Solo Sikoa turning his back on his uncle.
what a
or
final segment
What
that
is he?
was.
Cousin?
Cousin.
OTC?
Cousin. I think he's second cousin. What a final segment that was on Monday Night Raw last night, Greg. Your thoughts coming up in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the ESPN came out with a report yesterday. They came out with a story yesterday that the NBA has not found a link. They have not found credible evidence to suggest that Steve Ballmer has funneled money through sponsorship to Kawhi Leonard.
The Chicago Sun-Times.
And that set the internet ablaze. Right now everyone is dunking on Pablo because ESPN was reporting that the NBA is not finding a link. And the first place that I would go, Amin, is, okay, let's think about this for a second here.
The Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Which side would you be on?
We have a fine situation for Greg Cote.
I was searching the internet, Javon Edwards. Like, who is some football player at Coastal Carolina? No, it's Edmonds, Javon Edmonds.
All right, but that's a fine for McPherson.
Whoever wrote it. Maybe my dad read it wrong.
Okay, what is the last name?
Edmonds.
Okay, I have evidence here to dispute any
All right,
fine.
so he
that
sent you the
I'm
wrong
assigned.
So
name?
it's Jordan's
Yes.
fault.
So tell him, $5 fine. Tell him.
No, I'll pay the fine for him. I just want you to know that it was not my mistake. I read what was.
No. That's a great appeal.
Thank you.
The Hartford Courant.
So now you have,
That's an NWSL team.
I'm saying to myself, okay, which would you be more inclined to believe? A reporter who has no skin in the game as far as what's what, but putting his livelihood on the line, his credibility, his reputation on the line to cover a story fairly, or would you side with the business, in this case the NBA, that is paying investigators to investigate themselves? Like, which side here would you be more inclined to believe?
It's almost a rhetorical question because for me it goes without saying. The impartial jury here is Pablo, and he's not even a jurist. He's presenting the facts. I believe Pablo Torre and his investigation. If fans are going to be dunking on somebody, it should be Adam Silver for looking at this with blinders on and making a ruling that serves his and his league's best interest. They want this whole thing to go away. They want it to go away. So do the owners, I think, throughout the league. And so he's making the prudent announcement that, well, there's just not enough evidence. We weren't able to find any wrongdoing here. It doesn't mean that Pablo Torre was wrong. It doesn't even mean that by 5%.
Now, to me, I'm also thinking, all right, let's try and be rational about this here. There was a report not too long ago, like a week or so ago, that the league is currently negotiating. They're trying to find a resolution as to what the punishment should be. They're negotiating with Ballmer, with the Clippers, what the punishment in this situation would be. So if we're going to use some common sense, why would you negotiate? Why would you have to negotiate what a punishment should be when there's been no findings of wrongdoing?
Yeah, exactly. That's well put. If you're not guilty, you're not guilty. If you're negotiating a settlement, you're admitting some sort of guilt, I would think.
Like if
That's
you're getting
certainly the way it
together,
looks.
if the league is getting together with Steve Ballmer, all right, Steve, we're going to negotiate a punishment here. And then Steve Ballmer's like, all right, what do you got on me? And the league says, nothing. All right, I vote no punishment. Like, what? I mean, am I framing this properly?
The Jacksonville Daily Record.
Do you get mad when stuff like this comes out like yesterday?
Like what?
Because you put a lot of work into this. I mean, Pablo's putting the most work, but you put in like the second most work.
So there's a couple of things with this story, right? Number one is ESPN story comes out, and the Clippers immediately come out with a statement and say, see?
Right.
As if it's all confirmation.
Right.
And so when Mike Bass comes out, and Mike Bass is the main spokesperson for the NBA, and you can tell sometimes by the tenor of his releases, he's kind of like Pat Riley in that way, where it's like, oh, Mike's not happy about this one. The way that thing was worded was
so NBA spokesman Mike Bass puts out a statement. ESPN's article regarding the LA Clippers investigation, for which the NBA declined to cooperate, contains numerous and significant inaccuracies. The result in this matter will be made clear once the investigation is concluded. They came out with that statement very fast.
Very fast because again, they could have just kept quiet. Like it kept quiet.
Which you normally would.
Normally would, right? It's like, yeah, like we didn't cooperate with this, but like we're not going to confirm or deny or whatever. But for them to come out that quickly, and
why would they do that?
Because the story probably contains significant inaccuracies, right? And
these are very credible reporters
absolutely
who were on that ESPN report.
But my thing is always this. I always believe reporters are trying to get it right. But they are not compromised, it shouldn't be the word I use, but their one vulnerability they have is the source. So we had an example of this quite accidentally right now, a few seconds ago, where Greg said, hey, the source says the name of the guy that did the vote was so-and-so, so-and-so. And then these guys are like, oh, no, Greg, you got it. I was like, well, no. This was what was told to me. Now, obviously, Greg didn't go through not two-factor authentication. What's it called? Two-source.
That was your mistake, Greg.
Independent
really
source confirmation,
Yeah,
right? But that's the point. I can get multiple independent sources who give me incorrect information, whether that's because they had it wrong, whether because they are trying to influence the news cycle. It happens, and it happens a lot. And most of the time when you see reporting, particularly reporting like this, not reporting that took over a year of like it was 9 months of Pablo working on something before we even had the first episode, right? Not that kind of reporting, but we're reporting what's like, what this happened over here? Oh, this is a new thing over here. The whole transaction thing, that happens because you're going off of velocity. I just want rapid information, not I'm working these sources and I'm grinding them down and I'm searching high and low and I'm pulling FOIA requests and all that stuff. So for me, I read it before I even saw Mike Bass's statement. I was like, I find that hard to believe based on all the things that we've presented and all the things that we still have yet to present. I find it hard to believe the league, like, yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. When I read it, I said, you know who it sounds like? Kind of sounds like the Clippers. Because this is what everyone who I've talked to who deal with the Clippers say they behave like. Whether it's teams that are trying to do transactions with them, whether it's media members who talking to them, they do this thing where they just, no, there's nothing going on, man. I don't know what they're talking about. The idea that the only thing that would happen is like, hey, you guys really have to pay attention to who you introduce people to. Like, that's insane compared to the information that we present.
And again, why would you negotiate a settlement
if that's all you did?
When there has been no evidence of wrongdoing?
Like the way that report came out made it seem like all they did was, hey, man, you got some lower-level employees that may have overstepped some bounds in terms of where introductions happen to the thing. So it's like, if that's the violation, then why, like you said, why would it even get to a point? You'd be like, yeah, I'll take the slap on the wrist and let's keep it moving.
What happened yesterday was fascinating. We have to keep in mind the NBA and ESPN are league partners. This report comes out from ESPN with some heavy hitter journalists attached to it.
Yep.
BBN is a big deal. And while everyone's getting their jokes off on Pablo Torre, and everyone's assuming the league partner is carrying water for the league and this was all the plan, the NBA comes out with a statement that, from where I'm sitting, boys, was a lot stronger than anything they've directed in the direction of Pablo or his reporting.
Yes.
I think that part has to be paid attention to. I think the league was really upset at the optics and already setting the expectation that there would be zero consequence here. But it's very rare for this to happen, that they're not aligned, ESPN's reporters and the league. You had to have assumed that ESPN was aware of this and the league was aware that this investigation from ESPN's journalists was happening. This story was coming out because people were asked for quotes and whatnot. For this to come out and for the league to have that statement immediately after, that's a sloppy shop.
Yeah, I mean, and like, that's, Mike, you hit on something very, very specific there. We've been reporting the stories since September. They have never come out with anything close to the vitriol of that short statement from Mike Bass. For them to, like, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, I guess that could be true. Oh, maybe or maybe not. But, like, you hear something that's not true, like, hell no, I ain't do that. That's basically what the NBA did.
Yeah.
The other part of it, to go back to ESPN's reporting, that somehow this all turns into, oh, no, we just introduce people, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make this very simple for you. Kawhi Leonard got paid by aspiration, an amount that was more than Robert Downey Jr., Leonardo DiCaprio, and Drake combined, to never talk, whereas those guys all did the talking on behalf of that company.
I read a story the other day. Leonardo DiCaprio has sex while wearing headphones and listening to music.
He probably does.
I saw that too.
Crazy.
The other thing that we've uncovered with Daktronics is, again, Daktronics paid Kawhi Leonard as a spokesperson when in the 60-year history of their company, they've never paid for a spokesperson, and that's part of their whole philosophy. We don't pay for spokespeople. All right. So in both cases, money was paid to this guy to not do any spokesperson type activity. From the collective bargaining agreement, it shall constitute a violation of Section 1A above, to enter an agreement or understanding with any sponsor, business partner, third party, under which that party agrees to pay compensation for basketball services, even if such compensation is ostensibly designated as being non-basketball services. So it's a violation for them to pay you for basketball, even if they say, no, this was to be a spokesperson. And then here's the part. Such compensation is substantially in excess of fair market value of any services rendered by the player. Substantially in excess of fair market value. So if I told you I paid DiCaprio $5 and Robert Downey Jr. $5 and Drake $5, and I paid Kawhi Leonard $25, does that sound like excess of fair market value?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's, to me, open and shut case right there.
I know.
Like, hey.
So back to my original question. Do you get mad?
I don't get mad because the ruling hasn't happened. These reports are just reports. They're just telling me what I believe to be what the Clippers think about the situation. Maybe there's some other people behind the scenes, maybe some people on the league side speaking on the case of anonymity and not on behalf of the NBA who say, yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen.
But I mean, like, if we can parse through what we know that's in the story and the statements and what Pablo's reporting has told us about the questions that are being asked by Wachtel, it does. The theory that they're going to try to put this on Kawhi and Uncle Dennis does gain even more steam, right?
It's impossible, right? If it was Kawhi and Uncle Dennis and not the Clippers, and guess what that is? It's not cap circumvention. They just went out and made money. And they're free to make money in any way.
Well, and it can't be on Kawhi and Uncle Dennis and not the Clippers because the Raptors aren't being accused of this.
No, no, not because of that. Because if there's no team that's culpable, then it's not cap circumvention. And that's the part to me that's crazy. How many people, jamokes on the internet, and people who are NBA players, and people who are close to NBA players, who all like, why y'all going after Kawhi? I'm like, you morons.
Well, let's also remember Jaylen Brown. Like he told us when we call him the smartest guy in the room, the bar is really low.
I'm just saying.
Like we got a glimpse of that yesterday, didn't we?
You know, like Ty Lawson was like, oh, does Pablo get fined now? Like, you dumbass. You dumbass. This isn't about Kawhi. It's about Steve Ballmer.
That's where you get like Jeff Teague last week. It's like, why is Pablo pocket watching Kawhi? Like, you're stupid.
It's not about. You know what it's like? You guys ever seen the movie American Gangster with Denzel
Love
Washington?
American
Love that
and
scene
Russell
where he kills
Crowe?
Stringer. Oh my god!
Right?
Crazy.
Like,
What a
great
scene.
And he
movie.
gives a tip to him too.
Yeah.
Great movie.
You got your tip jar?
It's based on
My man.
real live gangster Frank Lucas, who had the biggest heroin operation in the United States during the Vietnam War, right? And so it's like, it would be like watching American Gangster and saying, why is Russell Crowe hating on T.I.? T.I. is like the nephew who's like, yeah, he's involved.
Had a good arm too.
He
Should
had
have
a
played
good-
for the Yankees.
Should have
To
played
be
for the
fair,
Yankees, but he wanted to be like Uncle
he
Frank.
wanted to be a
I
want
want to be like you, Uncle Frank. But anyway, like imagine watching that movie and like the whole apparatus is like, we got to catch Frank Lucas. And but watching that movie through the lens of like, T.I., man. They're all trying to take T.I. down. Like, you can't be this. But again, it speaks to the mentality of the player. They always look at things with a player lens where it's like, oh my God, why? They're all trying to get us. And I'm like, no, man, take the blinders off. There's something bigger that's happening around you.
So this was not the only story involving an LA team yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, if we could, before we get too far removed, because this is super important. The Hartford Current was the impetus for this entire game. And I know you fellas in there are big, strong allies of women's professional sports. And given the discourse, I think we should flash that. It's time to play a new game.
Yeah.
NWSL team or small local paper.
Wow.
Yeah. We got music. Wait, listen to the music. Yeah, I like this. It's like an 80s thing going.
All right, boys.
Uh-huh.
First one. Kansas City Current.
Oh, I recuse myself.
All right.
Small paper.
I think that's an NWSL team, but Current is spelled differently than the Hartford Current.
That you have to assume. You have to
that's
assume which
notable.
one.
Yes, Kansas City Current team. I think.
It's an NWSL team.
Wow.
I follow them on Instagram. That's how I know.
Wow. So it's
Why is that?
CURRENT.
The Chicago Defender.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say small local paper.
Small local paper.
Yeah, I happen to know. I'm bad to play this game because I know a lot of newspaper names. That's a Chicago. I think it's a black-owned.
It's a black, yep.
Yeah.
It's a black paper.
Yeah.
It's a black paper.
Yeah.
The Black Internet.
Boston Legacy.
Oh, shit.
I don't know that as either. Like,
I'm
not doing that to you.
I'm
This
gonna-
is either an NWSL team or a small local paper.
going to say team.
I'm going to say NWSL team.
I'll say paper.
It is a team.
Yeah. 3 for 3.
The San Diego Wave.
Okay.
No, that's a team, man. No, who's reading the Wave? I'm not reading the Wave.
The Wave sounds like it could be a student newspaper from
could be.
college.
Yeah.
Pepperdine, maybe, but not.
So you know
Small
what?
local
Good on
paper or NWSL team.
I'm going to go small local paper. I think it could be a student-run paper.
I'll go team.
It is a team.
Yeah, 4 for 4.
Kansas City Pitch.
I'm
Bad
going to
name
say
for either.
yes. Yes. First of all, yeah, like you can't be a team named the Pitch. People are running all over you. Then it's a paper.
You already named the Kansas City Current.
It's a
There should
huge soccer town.
There's going to be 2
Big
NWSL
market.
teams in
Yeah,
the same
big
city.
market.
Nah.
Remember, there's 2 Kansas Cities, one in Kansas and one in Missouri.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm going paper.
Team.
It's a paper.
Yeah, 5 for 5. I'm on
Denver
fire.
Summit.
Shit.
I don't know it as either.
Shit. I'm going team.
Yeah, I'm going NWSL team.
I'll go paper then.
Denver Summit FC.
Yes.
Yep.
That concludes NWSL
Wow.
team
Very
or
nice.
small local paper.
What
I
Game.
love the NWSL.
What a game.
Love it.
So if one story out of Los Angeles wasn't enough, we got another big one yesterday. Also, we all know at this point that the Los Angeles Lakers last week, I broke the news right here. Zaslow had it first. Props to Zaslow. I broke the news last week that the Los Angeles Lakers are being sold again for the second time in 14 months.
You mean you broke it on this show?
Yeah.
To this show.
Well, you don't think anyone understood? People were confused with that? Yes, of course. And yesterday, you get the report from Shams Charania. Actually, I should read it the way that he put it out, just for
the
accuracy.
way the maker created.
Yeah, so Shams Charania then, he posted yesterday. Let's see.
Okay.
Breaking. The Bus family has decided to
Gonna ask
sell.
you, Toledo Blade.
The Bus family has decided to sell its remaining 17.8% ownership stake in the Los Angeles Lakers to new owners Josh Kushner, Bob Iger. Sources tell ESPN. The Bus Family Trust, composed of siblings Jeannie, Jim, Johnny, Janie, Joey, and Jesse. Boy, I mean, all of the J. Received majority votes to allow trustees to execute the sale. It required 4 of 6 votes to enact the tag-along provision of Mark Walter's sale to Kushner and Iger, valued at $12.5 billion. But then, and he adds on to it, once the transaction is completed, this is the important part, once the transaction is completed, Jeannie Buss will no longer be allowed to be the governor of the Lakers because in order, NBA guidelines require the governor of the team, that's the person who makes the decisions. The governor of the team has to have at least a 15% ownership stake. And so she would not be able to stay on, which we know is very important to her and was probably very important to her father as well before he passed away. But then we start to get conflicting reports here.
We got a not so fast, my friend, from Lee Corso somewhere.
And apparently, well, Jeannie Buss's lawyer is contending that the Buss siblings leak information to Shams Charania to make it sound one way when they believe this isn't even legal, what they're trying to do right now.
Yes. Basically, Jeannie's lawyer is saying, hey, she has a provision that maintains that she must have 15% in order to continue to be the governor, right? Once that statute of limitations expires or whatever, then that happens, but basically it doesn't happen without her veto, in essence. She can veto any sale because any sale would drop her below that threshold. And they're contending that that stipulation in the contract, that she must maintain the ownership required in order to be governor, supersedes any tag-along. And so we're in for a legal battle between the Buss kids once again. It seems like they're all in court, and that's the legacy of Dr. Jerry Buss, is to have children fighting against one another.
Sad.
Which is like literally what the entire show Succession was.
Yes, this is Succession, right? Including...
Meets Winning Time.
Yeah.
What's up? Meets Winning Time?
Yeah.
I don't see the Winning Time connection.
They own
time.
the rights to both. Oh, okay. They can microwave it easily.
Now, did they need to vote unanimous for this to sell?
They cannot sell without her go along.
So then why in Shams Charania's original report it says they had the majority, 4 out of 6 votes needed?
Because they're saying the tag-along. That's what they're saying. They're saying the tag-along supersedes...
What does that mean?
Well, the tag-along says if the team sells, we can then, like if the majority guy sells his part, we can then tag along with the sale and at that valuation and cash out.
Okay.
So they're saying, oh, Mark Walter sold, so here we go. We're enacting the tag along so that we can come in on this 12.5
And for that, they only need majority.
Yes, except for the fact that Jeannie has that part. So, for instance,
Except that Jeannie has it in her contract that she gets to remain on no matter
exactly. So if Jeannie, you're saying, well, why would they even have
Which
that?
means you can't sell.
If it was Jeannie by herself saying, oh yeah, let's go ahead and go on with this sale, but the other 5 said, no, we like being minority owners of the Lakers, of our dad's team, then she couldn't do that because she doesn't have the power to overwhelm them and go tag along on the sale. But so she would need a majority. But the flip side is, even if it's 5 out of 6, if the 6 is Jeannie, Jeannie's contending.
Because she's the one who has it in her contract.
Okay,
Exactly.
but all this seems sloppy. So help me see the bigger picture here,
Mm-hmm.
because this deal famously came together in like 2 phone calls.
72, two phone
You've
calls,
never
72
seen a
hours.
team sold multiple times quicker.
Right, and this seems to be a pretty big loose end. You don't want the family drama out there.
You know what
playing
happens
out,
to loose
right?
ends, right?
Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
Sopranos, along with Winning
Right.
Time and Succession.
Right. All 3
Yep.
together, all owned by the same company. But this is playing out in public.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of messy. I'm a new owner. I just spent $12.5 billion, and this family drama is playing out because of these actions. Why wouldn't I just stay the course with Las Vegas? Why do I need this headache?
Well, there's 2 things. Number one is Las Vegas and expansion is it appears those prices are going up and up. And again, I keep telling everybody, to build in Las Vegas, you have to build an arena, which means you have to be able to have dates filled up on non-game nights. That's how you pay for arenas, right? And so you're talking about a market that is the most saturated when it comes to 12 to 15,000 seat venues, right? Like they've got a gajillion of them. So to me, Vegas is always going to be like an uphill battle as far as maintaining whatever. But the flip side is the Lakers, Mike, is like, I don't have to establish a brand. I don't have to come up with a logo. I don't have to sell people or tell
No
people.
doubt that's why a premium is attached.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's,
it would as many hurdles as there would be with an expansion team in Las Vegas. It's a cheaper price tag than the golden Los Angeles Lakers.
but
dude.
still, but it's turnkey. Like even if you like whatever that price tag is, you then have to do this uphill battle of, hey, I know you guys have the Raiders and the things, but like I'm here too. Please pay attention to me.
Yeah,
right?
but that's why the price tag would be lower, because you have to do all those headaches.
Sure. So, but you're saying why
This home is moving ready.
Why wouldn't I? You're saying why wouldn't I just stick with the expansion? I'm like, because this is better.
It's better. It's more expensive.
If it's available, it's more expensive, but it's better.
Okay, but now I got this family drama out there.
Well, let's see. This is the part where some would say, "Oh my God, the family drama. This is bad PR." Some would. You know who wouldn't? Probably Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, because now it's like, yeah, talk about the buses over there. Yeah, oh my God, that family's a mess. Oh my God, can you believe Dr. Jerry be rolling in his grave and all that? That means they're not talking about me.
I think Mark Walter probably loves it the most.
Mark Walter's like, they're not talking about my
Josh Kushner
my
too.
thing. Josh Kushner, like, they're not talking about my brother. Like Bob Iger's like, yeah, they're not talking about me in bed with Big DJT.
You know who else likes this? Steve Ballmer likes this because it's taking a little heat off him.
Of course.
I think there's a phone call between one LA and the other LA. Hey, Jeannie, Steve, how about you throw a fake grenade into this sale? Take a little heat off me. Have everybody talking about the other LeBron's game gone. Have everybody talking about the other team in town instead of Ballmer's
Local
team.
media, at the very least, because they love talking about the Bus family and the Bus family drama. That is what's going to be the most salacious headline. That's going to be what's the most interesting part here.
And you know what's funny? I've already seen it, again, from media people. Again, I'm not talking about jamokes on the internet. I'm talking about people who are employed to write about the NBA, saying, well, this Mark Walter Genie Bus thing is way more interesting than the Steve Ballmer thing. I'm like, really? You think that?
So-
Who said that? Name names.
I don't need to name names.
So in the 72 hours this deal came together,
Yeah.
from what Ramona told us, Bob Iger, Josh Kushner, they've made a lot of money. They're pretty bright guys. They had to have known about this loose end when it came to the Bus family. There's a chance that they were like, well, that could be good for us.
Well, look, here's the thing. It really does not impact their angle, right? Because whether the buses sell, tag along, or don't tag along, they're buying the majority stake. They're buying Mark Walter's stake, and so they'll own it. And now Bob Iger has said, and you said Bob Iger made a lot of money. Greg, you know how he made all that money.
Disney.
There you go.
Tiger.
There it is. So the bus thing, at best, it is a great distraction from what looks like a very unconventional sale. Let's say that. I think we can call it. It's unconventional that the crown jewel in sports brands gets sold over 2 phone calls over 72 hours without any other competing bids. At worst, yeah, that's like the cost of buying the team. Okay, so now I have to deal with the bus kids arguing and fighting. But it's like it really does not impact the progress of history, right? The march of progress. It's like, I own the team. That's all he cares about.
Can I read this statement here also, which I thought
From
had
Hoost.
some interesting wording here? This statement is from the Bus family to ESPN yesterday.
Okay.
And this came out before we learned about Jeannie.
Yes, this was like the statement that came out with the initial breaking news.
Because I think I know the quote that you're about to read here, and my head kind of turned like a curious dog. I'm like, that's interesting wording
So
here.
pay specific attention to the last line that I'm going to read you here in this statement from the Bus family. Quote, we have decided as a family to sell the remaining Bus family trust shares to the Bob Iger Group as part of the ongoing transaction. We love the Lakers, Laker fans, and will continue to support Los Angeles. But it is time to use this opportunity to move on and exit gracefully while we still can.
What?
While we still can.
Wow.
Two interesting things about that. Headline, while we still can.
Oh, boy.
Gracefully, while we still can.
Like, what's about to happen that is going to prevent you from exiting gracefully?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think there was an issue, but now I do. And number two is just the Iger Group, huh?
Yeah. Good for
That's
him.
what we're calling it.
Where am I?
Iger
They'll
Group.
Thrive Capital.
Okay, cool.
Thrive eternal.
Eternal, my bad.
So
live
it could be
forever.
read that you, based on the things that you just pointed out, that the Bus siblings are trying to say we think that there is something shady going on with this sale, who it's being sold from, and maybe who it's being sold to.
I don't know. I'm not going to make any of those leaps of why they would word it that way. Is it because of the sale? What about the sale?
But it's purposely worded that way.
It is worded
That's
that
a
way.
red flag while we still can.
Massive red flag. What is happening? But this is now I'm beginning to lean. I'm not all the way over on your side, Zaz, but I'm leaning towards your side. Where it's like, Commissioner Silver, get control of your league. I mean,
there's no
like
control.
think about all the things in the last 12 months, right? Gambling scandal, massive cap circumvention, an owner who bought a team on money that he clearly did not have.
Cap circumvention scandal. Allegations.
Scandal, yes. Yes, I'm naming scandals. right?
And your sister league that you're supposed to oversee is kind of a mess.
But their stuff is like regular Tuesday kind of problems, right? Like, oh, they hate this player. Like, oh my God, how adorable. None of that impacts the integrity of the business. The things I'm talking about, that's the integrity of your game. Whether players are playing for real or not, or, basically throwing games. Whether they're teams that are operating outside of the construct of the collective bargaining agreement to sign players. Whether the people buying your teams are qualified and vetted to buy teams. Whether their sales are above board.
I brought this up last week. Who you letting into your league, man? Who you letting into your league?
This is Game of Thrones. This is absolutely Game of Thrones. And if you're sitting around worried about like player type stuff, you're basically worried about the people of Flea Bottom, where the House Martell and the House Lannister and the House Stark, that's where it's happening. The House Bus and the House Walter and the House Kushner, right? And the House Balmer. That's where the stuff is happening. And meanwhile, you're over here worried about like, oh my God, did you hear what happened at King's Landing? Yeah, they raised taxes again. Like, that's so small potatoes.
It does lack the leadership. Even the WNBA one is another example where a stronger leader has the foresight to get out in front of all of this. Again, Mike Bass's statement was very strongly worded, and it's not like they don't know that ESPN's article at some point is going to get published. How you don't get in front of that and avoid the optics of that, your league partner, ESPN, doing reporting in a day, an age where everyone is questioning their reporting, especially on this story. Yeah. Sloppy shop. And then you have this going on with the Lakers stuff, unless what Amin said is true, that the league and the prospective Iger Group realize that this is actually good for us. This conversation, this family drama, is a welcome distraction from all the other calamities.
The Lexington Herald leader.
It's kind of sad when you think about it, though. Like, Dr. Jerry Buss definitely would be so sad the way things are playing out, right?
Embarrassed,
It's a
too.
shame.
Yeah, embarrassed.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
a shame.
I mean, I leave and you kids can't handle anything.
He kind of Horatio'd from CSI Miami, that whole thing.
Put on his sunglasses and walked away while it was exploding. I mean, like,
Yeah, like,
Jeannie, I want you to run the team, but not the basketball side. I don't think a woman could do that. I'm like, what? Like that's
I mean,
And then the Who blares in the background while he's
I
walking
mean,
away.
he definitely had a will that when it was being read was like, like he probably got a kick out of it.
The Philippi Barbour Democrat.
Cleveland Plain Dealer.
The Plain Dealer.
There's a franchise out there called the Tampa Bay Sun. I don't know what you do with that. That could be both.
Maybe it is both. Maybe the players write for the newspaper.
That would be funny.
Favorable stories?
Second job.
You got your tip jar?
Okay, are you guys ready? Because this is very exciting. This would have been the top 10 if he respected anything.
Is this our third time doing 18 and 17?
Yes. We've done it a number of different times.
This is the real one.
These used to be in the top 10, and now everything's moved back, and it might still not be 18. This might, keep in mind, this might be in the 30s by the time that we're done. Because
70 is absolutely the ceiling unless it goes to 75. That would be the absolute ceiling. But right now, it's a top 70 catchphrase countdown.
What are you shaking your head about, Zaz?
I feel like we've been inside the top 20 for months.
That's the beauty of this.
I thought we were going to be into the top 10 by now. I think we're further back than we were. I thought we were closer than 18 and 17 a while back. I thought we've already done 18 and 17 a couple of different times.
Yeah, once. And now, number 18. Put a Lobo's mint under your pillow and dream big.
Wow. A classic.
He's winded. He's amazing.
winded.
He does these very well. You will hear nothing in the way of criticism from me on how well you do these.
Thank you.
This list is extraordinary. When number 58 is Who Maketh the Salad.
Yeah, who made it a salad? Past tense. Number 17. What'd he say? Thank you.
Wait a minute. That's Zaz's.
What'd he say?
That belongs to Zaz.
No, Greg's right.
No.
That's.
I've been saying that for years. What'd he say? But you got to say it like that.
But that's how Zaz says it.
What do you?
Yo.
Wait a minute. Say it.
No, Zaz doesn't say it that way.
That is how Zaz says
I've
it.
never heard him say that.
Well, say it.
No, I'm not your monkey.
Oh,
Everybody
it's
just everybody
not
just knows.
your phrase.
No, I'll say it when I want to say it.
Hey,
Everybody knows. Everyone. That's what I say.
Say it then.
That is such bullshit.
Do you guys hear what Pat Riley said?
What do you say? That's my phrase.
Hey, stop
been
stealing
saying that for
Greg's.
years.
Stop stealing Greg's catchphrase.
No, that was entirely
Seriously.
different.
You're effing with me now, right? You're effing with me.
I've heard Greg say that countless times.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. The other one that you stole of mine, which was what? That was.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
No, he didn't steal that from me.
Right. Like, that's bullshit enough, all right? But I honestly, I don't believe that you actually knew that I said that, even though everyone knows. That's what I'm talking about. That's one of my go-to phrases.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Fine, you complete ignorance on that. Whatever. Okay, it's still stupid. But this time, there's no way.
What do you say?
Stop saying that. There's no way that you don't know that is mine. You're effing with me now.
I've never heard you say it. I'm asking you to say it right now. You refuse to.
I just said it.
Say it again.
What do you say?
Similar to mine.
You're right. The similarity is it's my phrase and you've stolen it.
Okay.
That's the similarity.
Okay, Christopher will tell you how many years I've been saying that.
Yeah, it must be a coincidence.
Brings me back to my childhood hearing him say that.
What did he say?
You see what's happened here? You had your list which originally started at 50, and then you've been able to add to it because you're stealing other people's phrases. You're like you're like Carlos Mencia.
Oh my God.
That's what just happened. You're like a comedian who is stealing other people's stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. That's my bit.
So you claim
That's my gimmick.
what? That one?
Well, 2 so far. I can't wait to hear the other 17.
What else do you say?
Well, I'm sure.
What else do you know?
Show everybody your list. I'm sure you're going to find out a few more.
Okay, I didn't know you were associated with what he say.
This is shocking. Everything that's happening here is shocking. It seems like Chris Cote is secretly enjoying this. He is laughing. He doesn't laugh this way.
I'm sure you're involved somehow too, by the way. You're not an innocent bystander.
Pretty out of line. Yeah. From Zaz.
Seriously.
From me.
Yeah, you're jealous. It's his catchphrase.
Right.
Countdown.
You're right. I am jealous. I'm jealous that my phrase is being stolen by someone
It's not yours.
and using it on their podcast, which we know that has become a thing on his podcast for people to listen to get more viewers, to get more listeners. Yes, I am jealous that my stuff is being taken and it is essentially you're reaping financial rewards.
You basically feel the way musicians feel about Spotify.
Yeah, you're a Napster.
Napster. That's
right.
an old phrase. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
You're Napster.
Right in your face. Right in your face.
What'd he say?
Singing this. Oh, my God.
They're not even similar the way I say it and the way he says
You're
it.
Napster. I'm Metallica. We're going to see how this ends.
Okay.
You might go to prison.
Okay. What'd he say?
I came for the 60 Minutes thing, literally, and it was awesome. But I stuck around for the thoughts on the Odyssey.
Okay, the episode is titled, it's a couple days ago, if you want to go back wherever you get your podcasts. Over the last couple days, something interesting and funny has happened
You were talking about good numbers.
where I have realized that Mike, and Dan for that matter, okay, because I got this from Dan as well 2 days ago. I am realizing Mike and Dan are listening to Zaslow Show 2.0 for the very first time.
No, I listen. I listen to Zaslow Show 2.0 whenever I guest on it. I love the sound of my own voice.
So that's what I've realized because I got a call from Dan a couple days ago. And he loved it. He listened to the whole episode.
Shirtless FaceTime in bed.
And I don't expect him to listen to the whole episode. All right, like episodes are about 45 minutes. I don't expect him to listen to the whole episode, but he clearly sat there, maybe it was in his car, maybe it was shirtless in bed, I don't know, and listened to the whole episode. And he loved it and said such nice things. I'm like, that's awesome. And it's also very clearly the first time he's ever heard the show.
Yeah, I've listened to it like 7 times because I've been on it 6. Yeah. So I like the Zaslow Show 2.0.
You enjoyed it a couple days ago.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think I've heard like ones here and there, like when we made the finals in hockey and in basketball. I'm like, yeah, let me listen to a caretaker of South Florida
That's
sports
right.
and do his character bit. I love it. I'm a huge fan.
It's not a character.
Yeah, it is. You do. Come on, you have a bit. You're amplified, like The Rock. Any hoodles. I stuck around for the thoughts on the Odyssey, which
Right,
I thought I got them all.
You loved my thoughts on the Odyssey.
Well, it starts. We get off to a real hot start.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by Mars Men, the most potent and natural testosterone stack on Earth. For a limited time, Le Batard Show listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping, and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. Tell them the Dan Le Batard Show sent you.
You know about that for life? For life.
That hurt. I don't know if you heard that bang there. I just hit my arm.
Oh, that was. I thought that was your
emphasis. No, that was an
I
accident.
thought it was meeting the moment.
Tell them the Le Batard Show sent you.
I mean, propose the question to the rest of the room that you just proposed to me about wearing gear of your favorite team.
Let me start with this. T-shirts, hoodies, whatever, hats, celebrating accomplishments that are not a championship. So, for instance, Eastern Conference champions or Atlantic Division champions.
Zaz has one of those shirts.
The shirt that you're referencing is Miami Heat 2023 NBA Finals. That's what it says.
Yeah, looser shirt.
It doesn't say, I'm very proud of the Miami Heat's appearance in the NBA Finals that year. That's why I wear it.
You can be proud without the shirt.
How about a playoffs shirt?
Those like sad white hot shirts that they put on the back of the chair.
Like a polo? You know what? This is, because I was a fan of a pathetic franchise. Mm-hmm. And when the Browns made the playoffs, I was like, I got to buy all this stuff.
So the Browns won the division when you were a Browns fan. You
The
would have.
Browns never won the division.
But if they had, when you were a Browns fan, you would have bought an NFC, an AFC
I would
North.
have. I would have. And I've seen like a Bengals 2022 AFC North Division champ shirt in the wild. I'm
That's
like,
lame as hell.
never forget.
Okay, all right. So
I would never
We're
wear that.
saying okay. So we're saying no, but you would wear a playoff shirt, and you would and have worn a final shirt, right?
Yeah, like I would not wear. So it's a 2023 Miami Heat NBA Finals shirt. If it was, because I'm very proud of the run
Second
they
place.
made,
Yeah.
and well, I mean, I'm sure I got it before the series ended, but the comparison I would make is I would never wear a 2023 Miami Heat Eastern Conference champion shirt. That's bullshit.
But you would wear the final shirt.
But I'm wearing the shirt that says they were in the
Where
finals.
the finals
'cause I'm
is
very proud of that
basically
team.
in a roundabout
Well,
way saying, "Hey, you're conference champion."
I have a weird thing. I love like getting shirts that celebrate finals because you get the dual logo.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I like Super Bowl shirts. I try to collect them all.
I like
One-
that too.
Double helmet shirts. Give me that. all
WrestleMania shirts where it's Bret Hart and Stone Cold.
Yeah, but when the Miami Hurricanes made it to the national championship game, I told myself I'm not going to buy any of the merch on the front end because I'm going to regret this. And I'd buy everything in the afterwards, and I didn't buy anything for that game. But I have no physical merchandise memory of playing in that game.
So let me play it forward. So let's say you have one of these shirts, a division championship shirt, a finals shirt, a playoff shirt, and then that year your team actually ends up winning.
Would you still wear?
Would you still wear
Yeah.
that other stuff?
I would not, because I would never have the other stuff.
Panthers were a long-suffering fan base. I did buy because there was a whole new merch drop for Stanley Cup playoff stuff. And remember, it's not just the NHL playoffs; it's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Panthers had been out of that thing for so long.
Okay, so you're talking about wearing a Stanley Cup, Florida Panther 2021 Stanley Cup playoffs.
And I think they won the Stanley Cup that year, but I still like what I got during the
Right.
first round.
I would wear that, but you're not wearing, from like in 2022 when they won the President's Trophy and they won the Atlantic Division. You're not wearing a Florida Panthers Atlantic Division champion shirt. It's different. I would not wear that.
Well, I guess my thing is if they won the title that year, why would I ever wear anything else from that year? Like I remember that time we won Team of the Month or whatever.
Yeah. I took a risk before the Fiesta Bowl because the merch was so good. I was like, I'm going to buy this on the front end, and if we lose, I'm never wearing this ever. And that was a lucky bet.
So you have a Miami Hurricanes Fiesta Bowl champion shirt?
Yeah, and that's a memorable game too.
That's a weird one. That's a weird one because my line of thinking would be no, I would not wear that because the Canes did not win the national championship. But the Canes fan exercised a lot of demons from winning that game.
We did, and also it's weird. You've seen the rings that Miami football gave out to its players. The CFP is so weird that these aren't just playoff games that you're winning. The one in College Station, that was a playoff game that we won.
Right.
But we are Goodyear Cotton Bowl
You're the Cotton Bowl champions.
You get a Cotton Bowl ring?
Yeah.
And no, we're not just that, but we're also Fiesta Bowl champions
Yeah.
too.
You get a Fiesta Bowl ring?
Well, because you get the trophy.
Yeah.
So you're getting rings for all of these
No,
things?
well, there's
Although
no,
Cristobal
dude,
didn't give a shit about that trophy after the game, remember?
Yeah, he didn't give it.
He did not
Yeah,
care.
no. But in college football, plenty of people get rings. Duke, their football team got rings because they
Yeah.
were ACC champions.
7-5.
Yeah, nice 5 loss
Middle
season.
Tennessee State gave their team rings when they won a bowl game at the end of their season, and the score that they put on the ring wasn't for the bowl game; it was for when they beat Miami earlier in that season.
go.
A huge chunk of college football teams give out rings at the end of the
So
season.
Jostens is just making money hand over fist from all these stupid ass small team.
My
bowl
rings are
winners.
Jostens.
Dumb.
I'm
No one
not
else
crazy
makes
about it, but the current construct of college football and its CFP is you are champions of the Cotton Bowl. You are champions of the Fiesta Bowl. And in any other season, that mattered and dubbed by college football worthy of a championship ring. So there's a billboard. And I don't feel like a champion last year. I feel like second place.
Yeah.
Well, no. On the 836, it's Cotton Bowl champions, Fiesta Bowl champions. I'm like, I don't feel like a champion of either.
Yeah.
I got an update from Dave Damashek, who writes in saying 2 words: Orlando Sentinel.
Chris, have you heard back from AJ Burnett?
I've heard back from not AJ Burnett or the guy from Syracuse.
Okay, so you haven't heard back.
Correct.
Got it.
Right.
A no would have sufficed.
I did find my picture from Universal Studios with AJ Burnett,
Yeah?
circa 2015. I put it up to the team,
nice.
so hopefully I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, I'd like to see
Behind the Hulk.
I love that
The roller
ride.
coaster, not
It's
the
a-
roller
yeah,
coaster.
yeah, no, that's a great ride, man. Oh, look at that.
There it is.
Oh.
Me and AJ.
Wow.
Yeah, the shins
been
are
cold.
tattooed.
It was cold that day, yeah.
Look at
Up
AJ
the
with the
Chelsea.
cargo shorts.
Look at that. You got a Chelsea jersey
Yeah.
out of you, huh?
Supporter.
All right.
Rocking the camouflage.
Where's the legs?
Now, Greg, you are aware that we have a running theory on the show, and I think we played some clips for you last week that AEW, which is All Elite Wrestling,
Yeah.
that we think they have been using your catchphrases on their programming.
Well, some of
Oh,
us.
Shot.
I know that they have been, and I don't know whether to be flattered or upset. We talked about this on my own Greg Cote Show podcast in the current episode, if you want to check it out. At some length, we talked about this, and I'm flattered. Like, I don't know what the latest is. I wish they would give me credit, if I'm being honest.
Wow. So
hold on.
hold on. This is not something that you had to go out and say that you're flattered,
Yeah.
as if there was a chance and you'd be insulted by them using this without name checking you.
Well, yeah, of course.
But Greg,
Well, if they were actually doing this, they'd be doing so to honor you.
I mean,
I got to be honest. That's a very weird reaction
Okay.
to it, and now I'm hoping it's coincidental.
Acknowledge me?
I don't. Well, hold on, guys.
Okay,
That's Roman
if
Reigns'
this
thing.
happens in journalism, you call it plagiarism. You can't just use somebody else's material without crediting them.
Like, dude, you didn't invent these words.
Yeah, Greg.
I invented saying, "Who won?"
But Greg,
No, you didn't.
No,
your
you
mom,
didn't.
Your mom
No,
did.
Nana
no.
Duke
Any,
did
God
that.
rest her
anytime I
soul.
go out to a game and Peepaw is like, "Hey, where'd you go? Who won?" He didn't invent that.
Greg, yeah,
Okay, but is he going, "Who won?"
Greg, I don't
Like that?
Greg, look, I'm a big fan of Greg Cote. I'm a big supporter of Greg Cote. I think this is where I have to stop short. I just feel like these are common phrases that just happen to be being used.
Okay, very good is a common phrase. How
Yeah.
about if you say it, "Very good,"
I mean, like,
Is that something that happened?
They haven't done that.
but it could.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then
sure.
maybe your argument gets
Sure.
boosted. I don't know if you've heard the latest, but the points that Amin is
Wait,
making.
are these new or are these?
This is the one that we played last week,
Got
but
it.
it's new to Greg.
Got it. Okay.
So I admittedly came in last week ready to essentially take Amin's role here and poo-poo the whole thing that it's totally a coincidence and it's not a real thing. I think it is definitely a real thing and that it's way too many coincidences. I think they are using your catchphrases. And then late last week, I had a listener send me this video, which contains two. I'm going to play it for you here, Greg, which contains two different instances in the same segment of what I certainly believe now is them using your catchphrases. Give this one a watch.
What you learn, huh? What you learn, huh? What you learn, huh?
What'd you learn, huh?
Like, this is just him dispensing,
Okay.
like, justice. Hey, what'd you learn,
That
punk? Like,
that
you know,
isn't delivered the way my dad did. Like my dad says, "What'd you learn?"
Okay.
Because it's just a. It's
But
just,
I think there's still some debate here.
Teaching him a lesson. What'd you learn? Because, like, oh, learn to never mess with you again. Like, that's what we're doing.
Okay, we're now talking about a pile of 5 or 6 catchphrases that we've heard on AEW. If it's just one, there's not even a discussion. When it's this many,
And this wrestler in particular has been involved in several of them.
right. And I don't expect on the air credit, obviously, but if this guy
Although
is,
you started this saying you
How
you
would
did
that
want
go?
Like you do.
How would that
no,
go?
here's what'd you learn, huh? Thanks, Greg Cody. No, but if that wrestler between matches is doing an interview and somebody says, "Hey, I like when you go who won," and somebody else goes who, and
You think that's
we-
how promos go?
The people, yeah, I don't know if people, hey, that's a great promo.
Tony
You did-
Schiavone's not going to be like, "Hey, you said who won the other day." Well, where'd you get that from? That was brilliant. That's not how wrestling works, pal.
Fine, okay. I don't know pro wrestling,
Also-
and I admit that.
The Who Won is accompanied by
won?
someone going to say, who Who? Which to me, the first place my mind went was the Baja Men. I didn't go to Greg Cody. I went to like.
You think the Baja Men are out here being like, man, Clark Connors should be thanking us?
So here in the exact same segment, there's another reference to a Greg Cody catchphrase.
Okay.
We're rolling now, huh?
That's great. I'm grinning like a Cheshire cat eating briars, or whatever that expression is.
Wow.
It's your expression.
Tell you what, if they work that one in next week, you're on to something.
Okay.
We're
I'm flattered.
rolling now.
We're rolling now, huh?
At the end. That one. That's of all the ones that have been done. That's the one that feels the most like
wrestling. They say every 2 words.
We're rolling now.
Huh? What you want, punk? Huh? Like they just yelling, huh?
It's actually more likely that they're doing a tribute to the Baja Men. Their nickname is the Dogs. That's their name.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
And he was doing who, and they're the Dogs. Who let them out? Who?
What about who won?
Well, I don't know.
All right, well, you know what? Speaking of which.
Let's see the
Let's
delivery.
listen to that one.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson versus Clark Connors. Who won? Who? The Guns versus the Dogs. Who won? Who? And in a double exchange match, who took Juice and Jerry out? Who?
Yeah, it's Baja Men.
That's Baja Men, man.
That one's Baja Men.
Not the who won.
That's a remix.
The who.
That's
who,
a combo.
Who is, but not
but
who
he's
won.
trash
Greg Cody
talking.
Baja Men remix.
He said the Guns versus the Dogs. Who won? Like he's doing that voice. He's
Okay.
doing the mocking voice that I do. And should I take credit now? Oh, he's using my mocking voice that I usually do. Oh.
So Amin, Baja Men, Greg Cody, they all have an argument here.
Okay, so all 6 or 7 of the phrases of mine that they happen to use, that's just what a coincidence. That's unbelievable coincidence that they would say the same things as me in the manner that I say them. Total coincidence.
Greg, as a wise man once said, to a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Right? Like, so in your mind, yeah, it's all stuff because you're a hammer and you're looking at all these things that look like nails poking out. In reality,
if I had a hammer.
to a narcissist hammer.
A narcissist hammer.
I'm not going to call Greg Cody. I don't like it when Dan does it.
I don't either.
I don't even like it when you guys do it.
It's
Don't call him a narcissist.
I mean, what else is there? If it's either a Greg Cody tribute or Greg's a narcissist.
Dad, how many times did you listen to your podcast yesterday?
I listened to all my podcasts twice. Once as a listener and once critically.
Quality control.
It is quality control.
That's
Thank you.
amazing.
I'm with you on that.
Who has the time for all that?
I listened to it as a listener would on the audio, like Spotify or Apple, and I listened to it as critically on YouTube.
Okay, I want to. Are you like? I want to envision this. Are you sitting on your couch and so when you're listening as a fan, are you sitting on your couch and you're just there listening on your phone?
No, I'm generally doing that as part of my morning routine. When I'm taking my pills, brushing my teeth, that's when I'm doing the audio thing. And then
He'll also sometimes listen in his garage in pitch dark.
well, that's normally when I listen to listen and watch to the YouTube version later in the evening.
In the dark.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's street light. You know, my garage door is open.
Oh,
There's a
you're one of the
street
houses.
light right
You
over
keep
there.
your garage open.
Yeah.
You hang out in your garage.
Right.
I meant pitch black, by the way, not pitch dark.
Okay, I got what you meant.
Wait,
that kind of thing.
why do you watch it in your garage?
That's like my mental man cave.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have a nice backyard. My wife's always going, "Why don't you go in the backyard?"
Yeah.
Because I don't want my neighbors to hear me listening to my own podcast.
I
It'd
think
be
it's a
weird.
mental man cave. I just think it's a man cave.
Well,
it's a physical location.
The front of your, like the garage
Well, what?
opens onto the street. Aren't there people around and watching Greg's?
It's not a busy. I don't live near a major highway.
Yeah, but
I mean,
your backyard fence is one of those wooden fences where you can't see anything through
Right.
it. So there's
Yeah.
way more.
I mean,
Right.
how loud are
PVC.
you blasting your podcast?
I'm not. If iPhone, you can't get much volume out of an iPhone.
But you're saying you don't want the neighbors to hear.
right.
All right, just you were smiling like what kind of cat eating what?
A Cheshire cat
Cheshire.
eating briars.
Briars, which is ice cream, right?
No, the other briar.
Oh.
Thanks for
The one
clearing
that
that
grows
up.
in the wild.
Patch?
And is that a catchphrase?
It is now, apparently.
Uh-oh. Don't,
No,
no.
it's not.
Do
No,
not
it isn't.
start
It is
that.
not a catchphrase.
We're
that
going to
I
have
know
to
of.
redo the whole ranking
No,
all
it's
over
only
again.
70. It has not grown.
Well, how many times have you said that publicly?
Normally, it's a donkey eating briars.
Okay.
So
well, is that a catchphrase?
That I've said many times, and that's from the great Edwin Pope, one of my mentors. He used to say, like grinning like a donkey eating briars.
Yeah.
I don't know where I came up with Cheshire Cat. I just threw it in there.
Well, Cheshire Cat's grin, famously from Alice in Wonderland.
There you go.
And so now you've got the donkey grin from Edwin Pope.
Right.
And you've got the Cheshire Cat grinning from
Right.
Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll. You bring them together. This is kind of like our Sopranos.
Winning time.
Winning time.
Yes.
Succession show.
Yeah.
We need a donkey versus Cheshire Cat grin-off.
Grinning contest. Who wins?
That's right.
Who wins?
We're rolling now,
So, Greg, I heard you. I mean, this was very shocking to hear, but you're not a fan of the new Pat McAfee album, huh?
Okay. I want to tread carefully here because I'm
Because
jealous.
I hear a lot of people who really like it. I mean,
Really?
I've seen people. Well, yeah. I mean, you put on television, a lot of people saying
A lot
how
of
great
people?
it is.
Name
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Orlovsky loves it.
Orlovsky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he said it was good.
Okay.
Co-worker. Yeah.
Kirk Herbstreit loves it. Says got great messaging.
Imagine his
Co-worker.
co-workers approving of that.
Chris
That's
Cote
what a
liked it?
shock. No, I have not. Listen, I have not listened to it, and do not plan to listen to it. So all I'm conveying
Well, that's not fair.
is some of the reviews that I've read.
You're
Okay.
reviewing the reviews.
Like SB Nation called it, quote, a train of diarrhea and disappointment. Another review I read referred to McAfee as Jelly Roll, but much, much, much worse. So I'm just saying that the reviews I have read have not been flattering, okay? Maybe it's going to win a Grammy Award. I have no idea. I'm just saying what
have
I
some
have
idea.
read is not flattering.
You have a little idea.
I have a little idea. But I'm also jealous because the idea that I might someday sing and see an album of mine out would be great. I'm looking forward
You
to
did
that.
have a #1 album.
Oh, that's true, too. I had a bit.
You did have a chart-topping album.
I had a bit part in it.
You had. What are you talking about? You had your own song.
Okay, but now I'm talking about a whole album of songs. We're working with the Hee Haw 3 on that. I don't want to say too much, but it could happen.
I love how algorithms work because they flashed the cover, and I tried to read the Dear Diary part because I thought it was so ridiculous, but then they took it away. So I said, let me Google it, and I type in Google. Google does an autofill. It said Diary of, and the first thing that comes up is Diary of Alicia Keys.
Anne Frank's not first, huh?
Nope. Second is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Third is Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which is the
When do we get to Anne Frank?
what's his name?
Tyler Perry.
The Tyler Perry thing. Anne Frank still hasn't shown up. They got Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, the sequel. We got Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Long Haul, which is another sequel, I guess. Diary of no, still Alicia Keys.
Wow.
I'd have gone to Anne Frank first.
Polarizing figure. There you go. Anne Frank never came up.
Poor Anne.
Where's Anthony Fauci?
There's a lot of people teeing off on him, but this is going to be a successful venture for him.
This is what it says. Oh my God! So the cover, we can throw it up on the screen. It's him, and he's kind of like doing this very intense chin stroke, whatever. And behind him, it says it's like supposed to be a page out of his diary. Dear Diary, quote: you talk too much. Quote: you're gonna end up working at a gas station. Quote: you never sit down. DAHN. So many things said. Only hateful breakthrough. I wonder when I'm dead if they'll ever tell the truth. What is the truth of Pat McAfee that we're not getting?
Good punter.
Yeah,
That's a great.
I don't know. It does seem like he likes to talk about adversity, but the adversity gets to him. I don't know. It feels like what adversity is there now? Other than people's reactions.
No, hey man, becoming an NFL player, there's got to be a lot of adversity.
That's my point. Like this. People are having their jokes, but I do think it's going to be a successful venture in large part because I imagine Game Day is going to be using this as bumping music, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So, Pat McAfee, for whatever anybody thinks of him, every time he tries his hand in a new industry, he makes $1 million easy. Like wrestling, podcasting, punting, anything he tries, he makes millions of dollars in.
But we don't see the adversity in all of that. There's a lot of adversity that goes along with deciding you want to be in WrestleMania
Well, this
or whatever.
this time people seem to think that he's bitten off more than he can chew. But if I had to, from
Bet.
where I'm sitting, I think he's going to make 7 figures off of this. In some roundabout way, he is going to be making money off of this thing. So yet another successful venture in another industry.
How much did he pay? What do you think the production costs on this are?
Wow, we're gonna go ROI on this
Yeah,
one. I think he's getting the ROI on this one.
Yeah.
People are talking about it. He's ESPN's biggest star. I don't think this made him less of a star. Now you could argue it's quite the heat check, and you can. Many people are having the conversation. Is this the tipping point? You know,
Diary of a Polarizing Figure 2 comes out. It says, Mike, I need a feature. You jumping on that?
It's a trap album, though.
I don't know how Pittsburgh became the South. I'm very confused about
Don,
that.
sit down.
I'm confused at the draw that happens sometimes.
It feels a little bit like Pat McAfee's. He's on top. He's so successful.
In case you're wondering what a Pittsburgh accent sounds like, just tune in on Fridays when Dave Damashek comes in. Like, does that sound Southern to you? That's weird, right?
Okay, now I would listen to that album.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
now.
The Dave Damashek album.
It feels a little bit like when LeBron and the Lakers won the championship in the bubble, and LeBron, after winning his 4th title, told everybody, "I want my respect." It feels similar what's happening there.
He's
with
on
McAfee.
top. He's
Yeah,
on top.
he's
but
on top.
I don't know. There's a confusing thing with Pat McAfee always that his whole thing is he has to be anti-establishment, but he's very clearly the establishment's pick.
When has he not been establishment? Right? Like,
I mean, when he was starting his career,
Yeah, when he was
like,
first
you
coming
know,
up.
he came across as a renegade. Here's this punter with a big mouth.
He's making the draft pick and he's trashing the fans. That's anti-establishment.
Yeah, but
I guess
he made it to a point where he is like whenever ESPN needs something, he's the front facing call, as we saw with the Patriot games and whatnot. Like, he is the guy. He's the biggest star in that network. They pay him as such. So I'm not saying he didn't meet adversity throughout his career. He's met plenty, but to like come around and try to get one off on the people that held him down, it's like, all right, we're trying to build some adversity now when things are going like it's a mixed message because you face all this adversity, you're hated, but you point to all the sacks of money that you have within the album. It's just he's in an interesting place for his whole brand. A brand that he references all the time, right? The brand is a big deal. But miss me with being like the guy that the establishment doesn't want when you're rep by Ari Emanuel and you're sending selfies out with Bob Iger and you're making $60 million off this deal alone. No, you're the guy. You're the guy, and you have to deal with that. Don't manufacture this whole thing that you're not the guy.
I think he thinks that his brand is bulletproof, and he may be right. I think he thinks I can chum it up with Trump at the Patriot games. I can put out
But he's not political.
Right, but I can put out a country-ish album, and who cares what everybody thinks about it? I'm Pat McAfee.
I don't. Yeah, that's another thing that bothers me clearly. That's a trigger. Like, you can't say that you're not political when you're shaking hands with the president. And I can understand, like, oh, we respect the office. That's a conversation for a different time. If you're being used there.
I'm surprised. I saw Pat McAfee at the finals, I think, a year ago. A lot shorter than I thought he'd be.
Really?
Yeah. He's not a tall guy.
Okay.
How tall would you say he is?
All right, so giving him some adversity.
Yeah. 5'10", 5'11"?
Yeah, I'd say like 5'11". Probably.
Overcame being under 6 feet.
Yeah.
Good for you, Pat.
Like
But everybody's talking about him. This is going to be used commercially, and he's going to make plenty of money off of that. And
wait, do you think? Okay, let me ask you. Do you think he's doing a bit when he's like, "Oh, there's adversity," like, or does he actually think like, "Oh my God, everybody hates me"?
That's how he's built, and I don't
believes it.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna deprogram himself from that because that's how he's gotten to the heights that he is. But at some point, maybe someone should tell him, like, all right, well, you're the guy now. The same way, like, look, Howard Stern was able to make it work. Howard Stern always felt dangerous until very recently. Even when he was making millions of dollars, he always found a way to feel dangerous. So there is a way to do it. There is a way to rage against a machine that you are somehow a huge part of. I'm not saying it's not without their challenges, but you also have to walk the line. I never felt like Howard Stern was overexposed. When you reference a guy like Jelly Roll is at this fascinating crossroads in his career that, it can go one of two ways for you. There's enough Jelly Roll out there. You're on everything. Too much. I'm overexposed. And that's the bet that Pat McAfee made here. Grow the brand, but also risk overexposure and being at the receiving end of some jokes.
You can find him listed at 6'1", but his NFL Combine height was 5'11 and a half.
There you go. So, transitioning here.
All right, there you go.
All right, then.
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh.
Go from McAfee to Stephen A. Smith
We're
now.
transitioning.
Stephen A. Smith is very upset because the National Association of Black Journalists, right? We got that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
NABJ.
The NABJ gave, they give out, I guess they had their annual summit, and convention, and they
missed it, and apparently it was a lot of fun.
And they give out awards essentially, and they gave some of them were negative, and they gave a thumbs down to Stephen A. Smith. What were some of the explanations, some of the reasons that they gave for Stephen A. Smith thumbs down?
Yeah, they said that he disparaged black women over the past year. Those women include Jasmine Crockett, Kamala Harris, Serena Williams, Kerry Champion, Jamel Hill, and Michelle Obama.
Yeah, so Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith has done work with them in the past, I believe, and he was very unhappy, and so you get the whole, I got a lot to say about this. So here's Stephen A. Smith on his, now this is one of his many shows. This is Straight Shooter. So is this like the political podcast that he does?
It's like the plain dealer, right? The straight shooter.
It's one of those.
So here's Stephen A. Smith on Straight Shooter.
Where are your facts? Where are they? You don't have facts. You have feelings. Everything I am, everything that I've achieved, everything that has uplifted me in my life has been associated with black women. Black women have been my strength, my source of inspiration, and so much more my entire life. The greatest woman I've ever known is a black woman. My mother, Janet Smith, God rest her soul. The women I love most in this world. My sisters, my nieces, my lady, everybody. Black women. What are you talking about? Disparaging black women. That was a flat out lie.
I just heard some breaking news there. Stephen A. Smith's got a lady.
My lady.
That was what I took away from that.
Yeah, I did. I thought he was playing the field out there. I thought he was, I hadn't seen anything, but I just assumed someone as busy as Stephen A. Smith does not have the time to have a relationship.
So he basically threw his lady under the bus, as well as the rest of his family, including his mom. His late mom.
He threw him under the bus.
No, he threw him under
He's
the bus.
using him as a meat shield.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it is like I got friends, but I was.
I got a lady.
Yeah, I was interesting to see what his reaction was, and I kind of knew what it would be, and I knew it would be immediate. And is there ever a time for him to listen?
Well, that wasn't the original immediate reaction. The original.
No, that one was actually much nicer than he alluded to.
Yes, because originally what he said was, and I quote from his Twitter, "This is the epitome of Christmas arriving early. The NABJ wants to call folks out. Fine. You had your turn. Now mine is coming. And make no mistake, I'm coming. Let's see who really deserves a thumbs down award when it comes to the black community after I say my piece." And he spelled P-E-A-C-E instead of P-I-E-C-E.
Oh, no.
Remember, NABJ, you asked for it. I've shut my mouth for years. Now, y'all started something.
So here is a little bit more of Stephen A. Greg.
Where?
This is Stephen A. on Hannity.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is on Fox News.
Great black platform.
But a journalistic organization that's its foundation is supposed to be based on objectivity and, most importantly, uplifting African Americans within the journalism industry. Well, excuse me, what have I accomplished in my career? Where am I sitting at right now? On September 29th, I'm about to be inducted into the Broadcast and Cable Hall of Fame. I've established myself as one of those people in this industry, but I'm not a Hall of Famer for the NABJ. I brought for my national television show, First Take from ESPN, in concert with ESPN and the great bosses that I have. We brought First Take, a nationally televised show, every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on ESPN. We brought it to the NABJ conference. When have you seen a nationally televised show broadcasting live from a journalism convention. I did it the last 2 years in Chicago and Cleveland, respectively. But I don't show up this year, and all of a sudden I receive a thumbs down award. I think it's utterly ridiculous, and I called them on it.
Oh, wow. So he thinks this is the NABJ being petty. They're angry now.
Yeah, which is all right. So all he's done in response is not actually tackle the criticism. It's just list that he has sisters and a mother, and that he's
and a lady,
and that he's shown up at the NABJs before, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's got a big show, and he never actually tackles the criticism that is levied against him. Which again, I did see other clips where it seemed as though this affected him. Because
yeah, I kind of feel bad for him in this
These are his peers. No, I saw that. I was like, damn, this is pretty strong from
like if a
NABJ.
National Association like of Jewish writers were to come out and say that like I'm super disrespectful to Jewish people, I don't know, I wouldn't like it.
If I were in a similar position, I'd probably not be super defensive, or I'd actually tout like what I've done in defense of that one.
He's not built like
I
that.
understand that, which is weird because I do think if there's ever a time to listen, to have a stinging criticism meet you and to try to learn from it and put that message across, it's when your peers do that. I would say something along the lines of I look forward to having more of a discourse with the NABJ and finding out where I've gone wrong. I disagree with that. That's
admitting guilt though and admitting fault.
Well,
Why would
he
would never do that.
But to just go back, like your backup is against the wall, and you're going to come out fighting, and you're going to go on Hannity of all places.
But that's Stephen A. Smith
talking about objectivity, going on Fox News. Again, you're not helping.
The optics of that are not great. You're right.
Yeah, if I were to dissect a alleged unobjectivity of the black community, you're gonna really have to sit me down and explain to me how the platform for that is Fox News.
Right, but Stephen A. knows that. So why does that happen?
These are how the thumbs downs happen. That's my point, right? Like he didn't go on a black platform or even a platform that is not so very clearly.
He went somewhere that he knew he'd be comfortable speaking about this.
Do you guys imagine MSNBC and CNN asked him and he said no? I imagine he only got asked.
He used to appear on
I'm just saying, though, like, I would be surprised if those places asked him and he said no.
It's not about, no, he's got to go. The idea is that those guys called, maybe this one, you're like, no, I'm just going to talk about them on my show. You guys can run the clip from my show if you want, but I'm not going to. Like, the acceptance of that platform, right? Again, we know what they're about over there. There's no one's under any kind of false pretenses that this is an organization that looks upon the black community favorably.
Yeah.
I know, but if he does run for high office someday, it doesn't hurt him to chum up to Fox a little bit, and because he's got to get more than this vote and that vote, he's
What do
got
you
to
mean
get.
it doesn't hurt him? He just got a thumbs down.
But Greg, to answer your question is again his political ambitions, everything that he has been framing himself in is as someone who wants to lean right.
Right.
That's so from that aspect, you're right. Yes. If I knew I was going to run for president and I want to run as a Democrat, as a Republican, then yeah, I'm going to chum up with this news outlet because most of their voters over there watch that station.
You know what I wanted to hear from Stephen A.? I wanted to hear refute one example of the criticism. Okay, I said
it's just resume listing because it's not the first time that he's talked about this. I've seen him talk about this stuff, particularly when the Kerry Champion and Jamel Hill criticisms came out. I think that was some time ago, and he just did resume listings.
He felt betrayed by that.
Yeah, but I got you a job.
To be
which
fair,
is not listening to the room.
That's exactly right, because he said that he platformed Kerry Champion as host of First Take. So I found that really unfair.
Okay, but what'd you say about Michelle Obama? And if it got you in trouble, explain that. That's all I wanted from him.
To be fair, everything he did last summer, that resume listing and all that, did not include, I have a lady. That changes things, guys.
Who else has won this thumbs down award?
Well, he said something like
Anyone
only
who won the thumbs
4
up award.
people have ever gotten
Conflicting reports, because I did see a clip where he highlighted just 4, but I could have sworn I saw the original clip that had several people in succession receive a thumbs down. Roy, can you clear that up?
I like Succession.
Yeah, I I asked the former president of the NABJ, Greg Lee, to send me a list. Thank you to him for sending this. Since 1989, they have given this award 45 times, 10 to people. There's usually people in institutions. Not one of them is Jason Whitlock.
Wow, that I'd be pissed off if I were him.
That's what I'm saying.
I would go on every platform. Like, how dare you?
Any thumbs up awards or?
How dare you?
That's usually the salute to excellence there, Chris.
Let me ask you something. Do you think Jason Whitlock has a lady?
You think that fat bastard has a lady?
Okay, are you guys ready? Because this is very exciting. This would have been the top 10 if he respected anything.
Is this our 3rd time doing 18 and 17?
Yes. We've done it a number of different times.
This is the real one.
These used to be in the top 10, and now everything's moved back, and it might still not be 18. This might, keep in mind, this might be in the 30s by the time that we're done. Because
70 is absolutely the ceiling unless it goes to 75. That would be the absolute ceiling. But right now, it's a top 70 catchphrase countdown.
What are you shaking your head about, Zaz?
I feel like we've been inside the top 20 for months.
That's the beauty of this.
I thought we were going to be into the top 10 by now. I think we're further back than we were. I thought we were closer than 18 and 17 a while back. I thought we've already done 18 and 17 a couple of different times.
Yeah, once. And now, number 18. Put a Lobo's mint under your pillow and dream big.
Wow. A classic.
He's winded. He's amazing. He
winded.
does these very well. You will hear nothing in the way of criticism from me on how well you do these.
Thank you.
This list is extraordinary. When number 58 is Who Maketh the Salad.
Yeah, who made it a salad? Past tense. Number 17. What'd he say? Thank you.
Wait a minute. That's Zaz's.
What'd he say?
That belongs to Zaz.
No, Greg's right.
I've been saying that for years. What'd he say? But you got to say it like that.
But that's how Zaz says it.
Wait a minute. Say it.
No, Zaz doesn't say it that way.
That is how Zaz says
I've never heard Zaz say that.
Well, say it.
No, I'm not your monkey.
Oh,
everybody
so
just
it's not
knows.
your phrase.
No, I'll say it when I want to say it.
Hey,
everybody knows. Everyone. That's what I say.
Say it then.
That is such bullshit.
Do you guys hear what Pat Riley said?
What do you say? That's my phrase.
Hey, stop stealing Greg's catchphrase.
No, that was entirely different.
You're effing with me now, right? You're effing with me.
I've heard Greg say that countless times.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. The other one that you stole of mine, which was what? That was.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
He didn't steal that from me. Right. Like, that's bullshit enough. All right. But I honestly, I don't believe that you actually knew that I said that, even though everyone knows that's what I'm talking about. That's one of my go-to phrases.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Fine, you complete ignorance on that. Whatever. Okay, it's still stupid. But this time, there's no way.
What do you say?
Stop saying that. There's no way that you don't know that is mine. You're effing with me now.
I've never heard you say it. I'm asking you to say it right now. You refuse to.
I just said it.
Say it again.
What do you say?
Similar to mine.
You're right. The similarity is it's my phrase and you've stolen it.
Okay.
That's the similarity.
Okay, Christopher will tell you how many years I've been saying that.
Yeah, it must be a coincidence.
Brings me back to my childhood hearing him say that.
What did he say?
You see what's happened here? You had your list which originally started at 50, and then you've been able to add to it because you're stealing other people's phrases. You're like you're like Carlos Mencia.
Oh my God.
That's what just happened. You're like a comedian who is stealing other people's stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's my bit.
So you claim
That's my gimmick.
what, that one?
Well, 2 so far. I can't wait to hear the other 17.
What else do you say?
Well, I'm sure.
What else do you know?
Show everybody your list. I'm sure you're going to find out a few more.
Okay, I didn't know you were associated with what he say.
This is shocking. Everything that's happening here is shocking. It seems like Chris Cote is secretly enjoying this. He is laughing. He doesn't laugh this way.
I'm sure you're involved somehow, too, by the way. You're not an innocent bystander.
Pretty out of line. Yeah. From Zaz.
Yeah, seriously.
From me.
Yeah, you're jealous. It's his catchphrase.
Right.
Countdown.
You're right. I am jealous. I'm jealous that my phrase is being stolen by someone
It's not yours.
and using it on their podcast, which we know that has become a thing on his podcast for people to listen to get more viewers, to get more listeners. Yes, I am jealous that my stuff is being taken and it is essentially you're reaping financial rewards.
You basically feel the way musicians feel about Spotify.
Yeah, you're Napster.
Napster. That's
right.
an old phrase. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
You're Napster.
Right in your face. Right in your face.
What'd he say?
Singing this. Oh, my God.
They're not even similar the way I say it and the way he
You're
says it.
Napster. I'm Metallica. We're going to see how this ends.
Okay.
You might go to prison.
Okay. What did he say?
I came for the 60 Minutes thing, literally, and it was awesome. But I stuck around for the thoughts on the Odyssey.
Okay, the episode is titled, it's a couple days ago, if you want to go back wherever you get your podcasts. Over the last couple days, something interesting and funny has happened.
You were talking about good numbers.
Where I have realized that Mike, and Dan for that matter, okay, because I got this from Dan as well 2 days ago. I am realizing Mike and Dan are listening to Zaslow Show 2.0 for the very first time.
No, I listen. I listen to Zaslow Show 2.0 whenever I guest on it. I love the sound of my own voice.
So that's what I've realized because I got a call from Dan a couple days ago. And he loved it. He listened to the whole episode.
Shirtless FaceTime in bed?
And I don't expect him to listen to the whole episode. All right, episodes are about 45 minutes. I don't expect him to listen to the whole episode, but he clearly sat there, maybe it was in his car, maybe he was shirtless in bed, I don't know, and listened to the whole episode. And he loved it and said such nice things. I'm like, that's awesome. And it's also very clearly the first time he's ever heard the show.
Yeah, I've listened to it like 7 times because I've been on it 6. Yeah. So I like the Zaslow Show 2.0.
You enjoyed it a couple days ago.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And I think I've heard like ones here and there. Like when we made the finals in hockey and in basketball, I'm like, yeah, let me listen to Caretaker of South Florida
That's
Sports
right.
and do his character bit. I love it. I'm a huge fan.
It's not a character.
Yeah, it is. You do. Come on, you have a bit. You're amplified, like The Rock. Wow. Any hoodles. I stuck around for the thoughts on the Odyssey, which I thought I got them all.
You loved my thoughts on the Odyssey.
Well, it starts. We get off to a real hot start because the way that you start.
See, I have a hard time remembering. I wish I could remember exactly
Here's
what I'm
how
saying.
it started. Tony, who doesn't know his elbow from his asshole.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Get it straight on a podcast. You can at least invite me on and tell me.
If anybody knows 2 things about me, number 1, I'm not a cuck, and number 2, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie, I always tell the truth.
Tony, who doesn't know his elbow from his asshole.
What was the context there?
I don't know. I do 3 different shows. I do this show, I do Zaslow Show 2.0, and I do ESPN Radio. I can't keep track of
And
what
Mystery
I said on
Crate.
each. And 4.
Yeah.
And Mystery Crate.
But the Bolivian cut is Zaslow Show 2.0.
Yes.
That is the Zaz talking
do
to
what I
nobody
want.
else, which is why he's developed. It's become his personality. The reason why he creates all these different voices and he's having a conversation with himself.
Yeah.
And so he has like these really eccentric parts of his personality that are essentially a cast. Yeah. It's a one-man ensemble. It's great. I'm a big fan. And when you said Tony doesn't know his elbow from his asshole, I'm like, all right, I'm in. But then you started going down your review of the Odyssey, and I was familiar with some of the takes.
What a movie.
But then I found out you were a racist.
What?
Yeah, you were a racist.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, now I could be mishearing
Why
things.
would you say it?
Yeah, why would you
Why
be
would
a
you
racist?
say that?
Why are you a racist, dog?
Why are you making things up?
All right, so for the audience, we did clip this section where,
You
that-
better not be taking me out of context here.
No,
If
no,
you're
no.
gonna play
I'm
something,
applying all the context I possibly can. I wasn't in
right.
charge of grabbing the context.
All right.
But I was in charge of being the driving force of calling you a racist.
So what am I talking about here?
Play the clip.
People are having a go at the movie for two reasons. Number one, for Lupita Nyong'o, who is playing Helen of Troy, who, is white in, I guess, the other writings of the book, in the writing of the book and maybe in the other movies, that Helen of Troy is white. And in this, Lupita Nyong'o is obviously black. You get the whole discussion of should a black actor be playing a white person? Should a white person be playing a black actor? Although it's never that other way, right? It's never the white person playing the black person. It's a black person playing the white person. And then everybody freaks out and gets upset about that. It's really stupid.
So it sounds like you're disappointed that John Cusack isn't playing Shaft.
No.
Yeah, it does.
No.
I heard racism.
I'm disappointed that people are mad that Lupita Nyong'o is playing Helen of
No,
Troy.
it feels like, but, you never see, the white guy playing, T'Challa.
That's not at all what I said
Where's
there.
Jacob Elordi playing Black
That's
Panther?
not at all what was said there.
And also, it just shows an ignorance to the history of cinema. There are examples. The Jazz Singer. There is a movie where John Wayne plays Genghis Khan. Jack Palance played Fidel Castro.
And now let me ask you, did people get mad?
No.
That's the point.
Not at the time. Well,
That's
no,
the
no,
point.
no. White people didn't get mad.
That's the point.
But there were aggrieved parties.
That's the point.
No, but it didn't seem like the
We're
point.
on the same side here.
It's not just the point; it's the presentation, though.
It's a
because
presentation.
the way that you said it did
presented like a
confuse
racist.
Mike, because what you said was like, it's never the black people playing the white people.
Guy never
It's
watched
the white
Gandhi.
people playing the black people.
Hold on a second.
You know about Gandhi?
Hold on a second. Jeremy, who's that supposed to be?
That was an awful Zaslow.
I don't know. What it's supposed to be.
It's really stupid.
Let's do gas bag of the week. Roy, what is it that needs context here on who's speaking and who is the gas bag of the week?
All right, so Steve Eisman stepped down as general manager and executive vice president of the Detroit Red Wings. Having problems up there. Dylan Larkin was to be traded. So a sports fan called into a Detroit radio station and gave his theory about why he's been so bad as general manager.
Tim is next on 97.1. Hello, Tim.
There was a clip a few years back on TNT where they were interviewing Yzerman in between periods, and he basically said, without saying, he
Who won?
Who won? Who?
Who won?
Bahman.
We're going to talk to Drew Brees coming up a little bit later on here this hour. We got to ask Drew Brees about, we have to ask him about the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins passing on him. He's the one that got away. He's the ultimate guy that got away for Dolphin fans, right, Greg?
I would say so.
I don't think there's anyone above him.
Brady?
No, Randy Moss.
See, that one's hard, though, the Randy Moss one.
And
Because,
it's going to be Reuben Bain.
but maybe. But the Randy Moss one, it's like, so they selected John Avery ahead of Randy Moss. But we could do that every single draft, say you should have picked him instead of him. That's why I don't like doing that.
Well, the most recent one would be Tua instead of Justin Herbert.
Right.
Or Reuben Bain instead of Proctor.
Or Steve Martin.
Also.
When they really bring it home.
So it's a Monday.
2 hour.
I was cooking too.
So we'll talk to Drew Brees in a little bit here, but Chris, I'm gonna let you try and redeem yourself
go back to me
here.
here.
All right.
Tomorrow, though. Tomorrow's basically a Tuesday.
He's got bowling too, though. So
Give me the
just be
ball.
careful.
We got one day this week.
What are you annoyed with at gas stations right now? What's going on?
God, thank you. I've been wanting to talk about this for weeks. I have a couple photos here I want to put up here. Okay, so I go to gas stations just as much as you guys do because you know what? I drive. And when I've noticed, we have the 87.
Yes.
The 89.
Sure.
The 93.
Yeah.
Oh, premium.
You would think, we're looking at it up here on the screen, that it would always be on the left is 87, in the middle is 89, on the right is 93.
Where did we get this picture from? 1998?
No, I know. The gas prices are
Yeah,
crazy.
where are we getting $1.76?
This one, the standard one, I just found on the internet. So those are clearly 3-decade-old gas prices.
Yeah.
Those were the prices a year ago.
But
the Gulf
I
War.
want to put up what I came
weapon.
across, and you're going to see my hand in this photo.
Uh-huh.
Look at there's my finger.
Nice finger.
This is what I see all over Broward. Maybe this is just a South Florida thing.
Ah, it's like Hebrew.
In Miami,
It's right to left.
and I think they're doing it because they assume everyone's going to assume it's on the left, and boom, they just got you for the more expensive
You could
gas.
be right.
It isn't. I'm telling you, in South Florida, in Broward, and in Dade, you got to pay attention because some gas stations go right to left and some go left to right. And I don't understand why it's not a set thing. The cheapest gas goes on the left. The most expensive goes on the right. It's annoying. We were talking before the show. Lewis has said, I have found myself $40 in to a gas experience where he's paying for premium and he realizes, oh shit, I meant to do for the, and it's just.
But you guys are distracted guys, though.
I'm on to you gas stations. Hey, gas stations, but can we not?
I have never, Chris, not in my entire time of driving, it's been 20 years or whatever, have I sat there and been like, let me click 93, even by mistake.
Just because it's on the left.
Never, ever.
I
Like,
have multiple.
where's 87? My eye is trained for 87.
I've multiple times had to whoa, whoops. Like I'm almost clicking this one.
I'm gonna tell you something. Maybe this is because where I live, because a lot of times I'll have a diesel also there.
That's green though. Diesel's green.
But it's like some pumps are just there. So I'm always looking at it. I'm like you, Tony. I'm staring at it like, which one do I need? Oh, I need the 87. But I have a more important question, Chris. Who the fuck is pumping 89?
That
Who's
middle?
89 for?
That mid-grade?
Who's 89 for?
That is true.
It's a great question.
The 93, I get it. You drive a nice car. You're like, hey, man. I gotta pump that.
There was
93.
one car I had the mid-grade for because they told me that's the absolute floor on this.
I think
thing.
when
so
I
mid-grade was my
they tell
regular.
you that, by the way. They tell you what the
Yeah,
floor is.
I
You know what the
know.
floor is? 87. You put in the gas, you go.
I think I once drove a car and I
Man,
had
am I
to
a
do
sucker?
it at minimum
Yes.
89. I think I did too.
89 is such a hoax. Dude.
All right,
weird
I'm
number.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I've never cared for what those numbers mean. I look for where it says regular. I just had to ask Tony, what do the numbers mean? Is that like a grade of
Grading of the food.
I never
The
cared.
car, like,
I've always
octane.
wondered
Does
I've
the
always
car
wondered
drive
what the numbers
smoother?
meant.
Like if I'm like, ooh, this is that 93.
I can't remember. I can't wait for all the tweets to be like, I can't believe the guys don't understand how octane works. Don't you know how your car engine works?
Well,
No, I don't.
none of those tweets are
No.
coming from New Jersey because they don't even pump their own gas.
And I'm not sitting here saying that it fools me. Like I'm always like, oh, fooled again. I paid for the wrong one. It's just something that I'm always noticing, and it's like I have to be on my game. And it's like, why wouldn't it just be a set thing for all gas
You
stations?
kind of said Lewis got fooled, though.
No, Lewis did. He admitted that to me. Maybe I shouldn't have gone there.
Can't
with
get
it, but
fooled again.
He did tell me that he has. I don't believe I've ever actually gotten fooled, but it just annoys me every time I see it.
I don't want the regular Chevron, but you add some Techron to the mix.
Oh shit!
Make it Chevron with Techron, and put a little clear display on the back with a little fuzzy ball. So so I can tell this Techron is working.
But I can't think of a better reason on why they would do the switch unless they're trying to trick
I
people.
went to high school with a Techron.
They're trying to trick us.
Those listeners, though, are correct. Where it's like, oh, you don't know about the gas. You're right. You know why I don't know? Because I'm not a mechanic.
It burns cleaner. I think that's the whole idea. Like the more premium the gas is, the slower it goes to burn, and it's cleaner. No, for your engine and for stuff that's going on in there. But guess what? I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to get from here to there.
Very curious discussion. A lot to think about. Maybe we can do something with this.
Should we ask Drew Brees about what grade gas he pumps?
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a must.
I do think
You
so.
ever been a mid guy, Drew?
89. You ever pump 89?
Well, towards the end in San Diego, they did drive those grades.
I had to have a conversation with my son, my older son. He's 17, but when he got his license last year, when he turned 16, I had to stress to him in the most serious of terms. We put the 87 in the car, all right? we don't ever put the one with the green handle. That one,
Oh,
we
yeah.
never fill up the car
Yeah.
with.
I wonder who did that once when he was a teenager.
All right, we don't have to do this story again.
Oh, it's called a segue.
There you go. So then you're right. You are distracted.
I love how he gave me a lot more credit with teenage. I was in college.
Okay,
But,
well, whatever.
What happened?
I was, I was with a lady.
My lady.
That's what I use as my excuse because it's really the only excuse I have. I was with
It's a good excuse.
a friend of
Stephen A., a
mine, and
lady.
we were getting gas, and I must have been distracted.
Yeah, like
and
I
I was
said.
right near the highway. I put it in. I get
bet you
out of the
did.
gas station. I get on the ramp. I get all the way to the ramp, and my car just starts puttering like it's out of gas. And I had to
My
call a
lady.
tow truck. I had to get it fully flushed out. Like it
Yeah,
was
that's a
terrible.
big deal. Oh. Yeah. My car
My lady.
requires 93, and if I put less than 93, I would feel it in the engine. Like it would hurt the car.
Is that a placebo, you think?
No, he and his car are one.
Well, even if it is one, sometimes they say, "Oh man, I have this bad headache. Here, take these pills." Oh, my head feels better. It's like it was just sugar pills. He didn't even know.
You think?
Yeah, I think the 90. I think the 93 thing is. I think it's just all a hoax. They say you need to pump 93 on this. Like, that's why I said 89. Why does it even exist?
I mean, he has a sports car though. It's a Corvette, so that's what that
I
gas.
can't
is
believe you're
definitely used
referencing
for.
numbers. I did just regular mid-grade premium, and the one with Techron. Got to get the Techron.
My buddy from high school?
No, the Chevron with Techron. Did you have a buddy named Chevron?
No, that sounds ridiculous. Who would name their child Chevron?
My lady.
I mean, you run into dogs still on your flights down here to Miami?
Out of control. These people are out of control. If you're a dog lover and you're like, hates dogs, yeah, this is a segment you want to take off.
I had a few dogs on the Bright Line, by the way, coming back, just like a
Bright
plane.
Line's fine.
But
Why
still,
is
they're-
that different?
They're barking a lot, though.
Not fine then. Who?
The dogs.
Who? No, so
One.
I'm sitting in my seat, right? I'm in the window. The guy's sitting next to me in the aisle. And then this massive dire wolf of a dog leaps and it kind of bounces off Buddy in the aisle and jumps into the row. And I said out loud, holy fucking shit. I was just so terrified by it was just a huge animal. And it's like these people, it was so big, I did not realize they had a second dog with them. And it's like these big dogs, and they've got these vests on. It says service dog. I'm like, I can tell already. By the way, this dog bounded upon the plane.
Right.
You're not a service dog.
Right.
You're not a service dog. You haven't gone to certifications.
They
You
have
haven't-
manners, service dogs.
Exactly. Like service dogs are like, yo, things are happening. Don't worry. I don't get distracted. I'm not going to pump the green gas into my car here. I'm focused. I'm zeroed in, right? I'm not overstimulated. This dog was, and his owner was like, oh, it's okay, Buttercup, or whatever his name was. And so I'm sitting over here, and I got a couple of cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
Oh, boy.
In my bag. So I was like, oh, my God, how terrifying. I'm like, well, I am hungry before we take off. Let me just rip one of these off. And I open it up, and I'm about to take a bite, and I look over, and this monster just like,
That's not a service dog.
Not a service dog
That's
at
not a
all.
service
Thank
dog.
you. It was like Ethan's dog. The way Ethan's dog is just always, anyone's eating food? Really? I love some. Like, same way, except imagine Ethan's dog, again, was like a wolf.
Oh, boy.
Massive. And so
So he's staring at your burger.
Absolutely.
You got it in your hand. You're looking at him.
Yes.
You're like, there's no way.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't that brave. I was like, I wonder if the guy sitting in between us is enough of a buffer to stop him before I get
From
attacked.
lunging over?
Yeah. And I'm just like, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line on these animals on the plane, right? Because here's the deal. 1985, people were flying everywhere, right? It's like modern times. Wasn't no dogs running
You
around
had to
like
put the
that.
dogs underneath.
There was no big-ass dogs on the plane. You had to
Underneath.
put them underneath, right?
Underneath.
So my thing is...
Which is so cruel, by the way. But anyway.
All right, you know what? Get them in a kennel.
Well, yeah, like they're not just
Yeah.
wandering underneath the
No,
plane.
no,
they're
no.
in a
Put them in a cage.
Yeah, or actually room and board kennel when you go on your trip, or drive and put the dog in the car.
Sure.
But this idea that like, yo, my dog should have access to everywhere I go, number one, is ridiculous. Number two,
You are okay with it if it is a legit
a
service
legit
dog.
service dog.
Right.
Like, yo, we got the stripes and everything.
Yeah.
Been through the training courses.
Those dogs are amazing.
Went to
You
graduation.
want to hear about their service.
I want to know that they
He wants to salute their service.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Like,
your service.
graduated. I did the time, right? Not like Buttercup can't be left alone. Oh, just give him a service dog harness and we'll call it a day.
Did you know that dogs are, I guess it's supposed to be service dogs, that you're able to bring them on cruises? On my cruise 2 weeks ago, this woman had a dog.
Yeah.
And it was a foo-foo dog, which you know is not, and it's wearing the service dog vest. That ain't a service dog.
It's not saving
That ain't a service
nobody.
dog.
Like this idea, like, oh, but it makes me, like, that's the other thing. They call these service dogs. So it used to be
Emotional support dogs?
Them-
No, that's bullshit. Every single person who has a dog, their dog is emotional support dog. All right, that dog makes you happy. That's why we have a dog. But my 2 dogs are emotional support dogs. They make me happy. That's why I have them.
I have zero emotional support. I would eat like I am emotionally supportless. If you told me, I mean, take this dog, it'll make you feel better. You know what I would say? Am I getting on a plane? Then no, I'm just gonna have to deal with them, medicate like everybody else. Take a Xanax, drink a lot.
Maybe some tequila.
That is emotional support. You
Yeah.
brought
You know-
McDonald's hamburgers.
You know what the difference is? My emotional support isn't lunging at people.
Yours smells delicious.
How many tequilas?
That's a good point.
I like I've sat on planes where I'm sitting down in the seat and it'll be like that first row in like the main comforts. You got a little bit of leg room in front of you.
Bulkhead.
And bulkhead. And the woman next to me, like she's got her huge, Labrador.
Okay.
You know?
I was like,
right.
whoa.
Oh,
Whoa, boy.
She's got a huge Labrador
Where are you flying to?
lying right there, and she's like, "Are you okay with dogs?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally great." Because that dog is very clearly a service animal, and it's super well behaved the entire time. All it does is lie there the whole time. That I'm totally good with.
Huge what?
If the dogs, as people ask me, I mean, you hate dogs. I don't hate dogs. I hate dogs that don't know how to act. So there's some cool dogs out there. I've known some cool dogs in my life. Like, hey, what's up, man? Like, what's
Ethan's
up?
dog is fine.
No, Ethan's dog is not fine.
Malachi's fine.
No, Ethan's dog is not fine. And I know you're doing a joke, but I don't even remember the dog's name.
Malachi.
Percy.
Tony?
Malachi.
The dog the other day, I've never yelled at Ethan in my life. I yelled at him. I feel bad to this day.
Really?
I yelled
Why
at
are you
Ethan
smiling then?
because it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to yell at Ethan. But like I yelled at him earnestly. I didn't yell at him like
Feel
Ethan.
bad when I yell at Ethan.
I yelled at him like with actual anger in my voice because the dog who had been messing around and it does this every time. Every time I've got a plate or whatever, it's coming out. So get away. I'm cool with that. But then we had the food out and they just put the food out for lunch and the dog walked up and put its paws on the counter and I said,
I don't even know the dog's tall enough to do
it
that.
did it. I saw it. I
On
said,
the
"Get that."
counter?
Malachi is not.
Malachi
that
is
tall.
dog-
undersized.
Addison's not that tall.
The dog stood up. The dog stood up, and Ethan can witness. I yelled him at the dog, and I yelled at Ethan to get your fucking dog out of here.
Really?
Because I
Dog
did.
turned into a lichen.
I don't give a damn what kind of words you're using, and I'm interpreting them
You
as
haven't
disrespect.
done Underworld on Cinephobe?
No.
Those movies are good. That's probably why.
No.
So yeah, so like,
How upset was Malachi when you yelled at him?
well, the dog ran away, like which usually it just kind of wanders away.
That classic dog
Yeah.
move.
Then it knew like, oh shit, I've I've stepped in it now, and so I yelled, and the dog ran away, and Ethan was like, come on, Ted Ginn Jr. whatever the name of the dog is, and he scampered away. But like that's my thing. It's like, yo, man, if you're a cool dog, you know what, Willow was actually a cool dog. I was doing a bit the whole
I think
time.
time
Willow was a great
has
dog.
distanced yourself from that take.
Maybe.
Because the big ass dog that Willow would climb on the back of that sofa when you're trying to sit there and it's massive and it's
Yeah.
huge and it sits there in the
Yeah.
back
That's
just
Willow.
waiting for you.
Malachi's a good dog.
Nah.
Malachi's small.
No, man.
And Ethan abused her that one time.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Remember?
The dog tore
Torn
his ACL.
ACL, yeah.
Torn ACL.
I didn't know dogs had
And
ACL.
Ethan took it upon himself to say, we're just going to rehab this. No surgery for you.
Refused to take it to the vet. So I think it's a torn ACL.
This thing's still limping.
Yeah, you know, he's a critical limper, that guy.
I'll tell you which leg it
Limping
wasn't.
like Walter Brennan.
I'll tell you which leg wasn't torn ACL. The hind ones, because it stood up on them trying to get to the food.
Mike, we spoke yesterday about a movie that both of us saw this weekend. We both saw The End of Oak Street. What a movie.
What a summer movie.
What a movie. But you also saw The Invite. That's the new Seth Rogen movie?
Yeah.
Do I need to see that?
You need to see that. All right, so there's a couple of awkward films out this year. The Drama.
I
and
saw
The
that's
Invite.
available for streaming right now, the drama, but I'm hesitant to get into it.
The drama's good.
The Drama is really good. I think The Invite is better.
Well, I think the invite's supposed. I haven't seen the invite yet, but from what I understand, invite is a comedy.
The Invite is one of the best comedies I've seen in
Seth
years.
Rogen and who else?
Seth. All right, so it's basically it's just a 4-person cast essentially. It's Olivia Wilde who directed the film.
Okay.
Her husband is played by Seth Rogen.
That's realistic.
They invite their neighbors over. Well, they explain why Seth Rogen is a down-and-out former rock star. So that's how he landed Olivia.
Is this you explaining it to be more realistic to me?
Yeah, it is more realistic.
That makes it.
He was insanely famous.
He was famous and he had the rock star appeal and whatever.
Oh, let's rock.
It's actually a big part of the story. And they invite their neighbors over. Their neighbors are played by Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz.
Penelope.
Wow. Yeah, and
Norton.
The Norton. And the cast has incredible chemistry. There is, I swear to God, like a 20-minute stretch. I was just laughing nonstop.
This is a big bounce back for Olivia Wilde because if you remember, her last movie that she directed was Don't Worry, Darling, and that one was a fiasco. That was reviewed on Cinephobe, by the way.
This one, I mean, that was the one with Harry Styles, right?
Harry Styles. Look at the boy go! And he's dancing on the stage. Yeah.
So this plays out like a play. This probably might even be a stage play. It plays out just like that. And they kind of give you some hints in the trailer as to what's about to come. But it's very much a movie built on the relationships of the people in this film. I would say it's probably a great first date film. Great first date. Great first date film. So, if you're built a certain way and you want to feel something out, it's a great first date film.
I heard that if you are in a relationship, married, and you're not happy, don't watch it.
That's what I was saying. This is probably a great first date film. Bad 4,000th date film. Real bad 4,000th date film.
So what you're saying is, if I have a lady, not a good movie.
Unless you're very secure.
You know how that...
If you're on the rocks at all, I saw somebody doing a thing on it. That like if you're on the rocks in your serious relationship, don't watch it.
The Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson movie, bad day movie.
Oh, I would never see that movie.
Bad date movie.
What's that movie?
The Divorce.
I would never watch that movie.
You want to take your lady to that?
My lady.
This happened to me once.
But this is a really, really funny movie. In an era where we're not making good R-rated comedies, this is a really funny R-rated comedy. And it's got, it's put through an artistic prism. So it's elevated. It's not a chuckle fest or anything like that. It could absolutely be the same kind of movie and directed a completely different way. And it would feel like more like Meet the Fockers, right? But the elevated approach to it certainly adds to it, and it adds to the tension. And I thought it was really, really funny.
You know what's funny? I watched Superbad on network television the other day. So
Marriage Story, not The Divorce.
Superbad.
My lady.
Superbad, clean, right? They don't cuss, and they obviously don't show the pictures or whatever. It's still a ridiculously hilarious movie. I thought this would probably be awful, but it's
I'm trying to think what would they be cutting out in Superbad that the movie would lose?
The pictures that Seth draws in class. That gets
you know what foods are shaped like dicks? The best kinds.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, when he's a little kid and he's drawing all the dicks. Yeah.
But I was like, yo, this is actually a really I always knew it was a funny movie, but I thought let me try watching it clean. Would it still hold up? And it holds up perfectly.
It's really funny.
It's a very funny movie. And again, it made it even funnier. The whole time I'm watching this, I said, damn, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg wrote this when they were in high school. They wrote this as teenagers.
Well, if you think it's unrealistic that Olivia Wilde is interested in Seth Rogen, wait till you get a load to see how this movie plays out.
So this happened to me once where you're saying
a beautiful woman fell for you?
Well, I mean, I think I'm in the middle of that right now still.
My lady.
But where, hey, don't take your significant other if your relationship is not on really steady ground. This is why I refuse to ever watch again the movie The Breakup.
The greatest rom-com movie of all time.
The Breakup?
The best rom-com.
Jennifer Aniston, Vince Vaughn.
It's so good.
I hate that movie.
Oh, my God.
Better than Forget Paris.
Better than Forget Paris.
I hate that movie so much because imagine this. Okay, imagine the scenario that I'm in. my wife and she's now my wife, back then my girlfriend, so we're talking this is around like 2006, which I imagine is the exact year that breakup came out. And my wife and I, we were broken up for a little while. We were broken up for 2 months. It's the only time we broke up in our relationship. We got back together.
Why'd you
great.
break up?
Everything in the movie The Breakup is why we broke up.
You didn't want to do dishes?
So
you were playing video games, the little guys with the big hearts?
Why would you want to do dishes?
We just got back together. We're doing date night. We're going to go see this really funny movie with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston.
You were a tour guide?
And everything that is happening in this movie, everything that she is upset with him about, everything that leads to them breaking up and not getting back together it was a documentary.
You got to update your numbers. You got to put your numbers in.
And I'm sitting there like I'm in terror watching this movie because both of us know we're watching our relationship, or at least what our relationship was before we got back together. I hate that movie.
Your baby wanted lemons. You got her 4 lemons. And she said,
Where the kick drums as.
Dad.
Come now.
Ha. And chang, 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 chang.
I hate that horrendous movie. It's an awful movie.
It is. It's what I found. I watched it when it came out too, and I thought it was amazing. And then I saw the reviews, and I'm like, why are people hating this? And I realized they hate it because it's too real.
It's everything
ending.
I just said.
The ending.
The ending hurts too.
The ending, I think even if the ending had been like they got back together, it still would not have saved because the arguments were not rom-com arguments. They were real, like the last argument.
It was my life we were watching on screen.
Were you all put together when you got back together the way he was in that final scene when he has his groceries there?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I was.
You look fantastic.
I was because I had to be prepared if we're not getting back together.
You got to get back out there?
If I'm getting back out there. So, yeah, I was looking good.
I'm just imagining Zaz there.
Hey, it's good to see you. You look great.
Now check this out.
All right, there you go.
My lady.
Hate that movie.
Yeah, so Drew Brees just kind of played.
Yeah. So the invite cracked my top 5. It was a top 5 of 2026. I have it just behind the drama.
Okay. Really?
The drama was really funny too, in its own way.
You thought it had its humorous moments. I don't think of it as a comedy.
I want to rewatch the drama. And I want to rewatch The Invite because I'm going to find so many more things funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, the laughs at the beginning of this movie, you don't have time to catch your breath. Like they are in pure succession.
So you almost choke while you're watching the movie.
It was, dude. There were times that I was just laughing for minutes on end.
I tend to feel like your taste in comedies I agree with. So I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to watch The Invite. I had no plans on watching it. When I saw Olivia Wilde was directing, I won't lie, I thought, Don't Worry, Darling. I'm like, oh, here we go again. And so I'll give it a try. I love the drama. I didn't think of it as a comedy, though. I thought that the drama was, like, it had its funny moments. But it's, I don't know, do you guys know about this movie at all?
The drama? I know the big secret, yeah.
Okay.
Greg?
No, I don't.
All right,
When's the last time you've been to a theater?
I just had to ask for the audience.
Very generic name, The Drama.
Yeah. So is The Invite.
Well,
Yeah.
So is The Divorce. But that's
Yeah.
They're not a good names, the movies.
You gotta take your dad to the movies.
We're going to do it.
I want this
the
bit.
fancy
I
movie
want
theater.
to basically force a back in my day on the audience with Greg going to a new movie theater.
Experiencing.
Because
I would do that.
the last movie he went to see in the theaters was Swing Vote. Theaters have changed so much.
He's going to love it, though. He can
Is
have
he?
a beer now.
Yeah, well, that's so. Greg, the pros. You can
Only
have a
one.
beer.
Yeah.
You can select,
Recline and fall
You
asleep.
can recline. Absolutely, you can recline. And fall
You can
asleep.
order food.
You can order food at some of them.
See, I'm again that.
You got. You
I'm
can,
not going to a movie. I'm not going
Why'd
to
you
a
say
what
it
am I
that
going
way?
to a restaurant?
Are you from
or-
Pittsburgh too? I never know what this accent is.
Don, sit down.
I'm again it.
No, but you can select your seat ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about getting a good seat. You can just like, oh yeah, we reserve.
Like Zaz 5 months in advance.
I had to.
Greg, I just saw Greg react to reserving your seat. He did not.
I mean, half of the fun of going to a theater is taking a minute to find out where you want to go.
No,
You
that's
want to sit in the front? No. 'cause
That's
then
the
you're going
fun?
like this.
that's the inconvenience of going to a
But
movie.
that's part of the experience. Let's quit making everything so easy.
Now you have to go to the theater and realize that there's only 7 seats purchased, but somehow we're all sitting next to each other.
I just want an aisle seat with nobody sitting next to me.
You
That's
like the
all I
aisle,
want.
huh? A little
Yeah.
off to the side of the screen. Don't you like the middle of the
I
thing?
like the middle aisle, not the far aisle.
I always sit in the very back row.
Do you?
Yeah. Try to sit in the middle of the back row, but always the very back row.
Greg's so old. He's from an era where, like, you had the section with the 2 aisles coming
Right,
down.
yeah.
And they don't do that anymore.
Oh, why
Those
not?
theaters were huge.
Yeah. Most theaters now, Greg, they have the aisles are on the outside and then all the seats are in the middle.
Yeah.
So
You know that?
No.
Yeah.
So the one aisle is like 30
Yes.
seats.
The one section is just.
Imagine being in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I got to get up to go to the bathroom, and then you're inconveniencing 25 people.
That's why you don't
spilling
get 'em.
popcorn.
All right. Let's bring aboard Drew Brees here.
Yeah.
Let's get to someone important here. Drew Brees, of course, the one that got away for all of us here in Miami, which we'll get to that in a moment here. Drew, thanks for joining us. When is the last time you were at the movie theater?
Man, it's been a while. I do want to see Odyssey in the theater, though. But no, it's I can't even remember last time, honestly.
Is that one of those things, Drew, where you're just too famous to be able to just to have a regular life, go to the theater, get some popcorn, and watch a movie without getting mobbed?
No, honestly, it's first off, it's like a 3-hour commitment, you know, to get to the theater and to watch the show and get home. I don't find I have that much time at the end of the day, you know, after coaching high school football and doing all the other stuff. And obviously the last few months have been pretty crazy. But I feel like I'm into a lot of these. I'm on the Taylor Sheridan, you know, train with all these shows, you know. So I've got my, you know, I'm just rocking the Paramount Plus, you know, just killing the, you know, Lioness now and Tulsa King, you know, of course, Dutton Ranch. So as many shows as he can put out, that's what I'm watching.
I'm about to start the new season of Lioness. Have you watched the new season?
I'm what is it? 2 episodes in. I've seen them both. I think the third one just came out. I need to download that.
All right. You said you've been busy the last few months. Congratulations. Hall of Fame, of course. Drew Brees, Hall of Famer now. That's the way you have to introduce him. How long did it take you? How hard was it for you to write your speech? Was that something that you were fussing over? Was that stressful for you?
Yeah, that was probably one of the more stressful things I've had to do. And honestly, it's because there's so much that you want to express, you know, and you have such a short amount of time to do it. I mean, think about it. It's like writing a 20-chapter book, and then they tell you have to condense this down and deliver in 8 to 10 minutes. So it was more so, you know, I went twice that long, by the way. I was 20 minutes, but you're also thinking about all the people in the crowd, you know, that are, you know, sitting in the hot sun, and like you want to do something that's entertaining and fun, and it's almost like telling a story. You know, I wanted it to feel like that, and then just incorporate so many experiences and then the lessons behind those experiences. Because again, I think what you're trying to convey to, you know, young people that aspire to, you know, play professional sports or just really pursue something that seems, you know, super hard or difficult or, you know, just like a total dream. Just incorporate a lot of the lessons along the way that came with the experiences. And many of those experiences were of disappointment and failure, you know, but you come out better on the other side. And so there's just that, as well as the gratitude, conveying the gratitude and the appreciation for all the people that had a chance to be a part of the journey.
Drew, you're a Super Bowl champ, you're a Hall of Famer. Do you ever have what ifs that you think about in your head? What if this had happened? What if that had happened?
Yeah. What if he ended up signing with Miami? Is probably the first one.
Well, I mean, going back, even back before that, you know, my sophomore year of high school, look, I played football, basketball, baseball, but baseball was really my number one sport. And then it was probably basketball, and then football was probably third. And I went to a big powerhouse, you know, 5A Texas school. And, you know, there was a guy starting in front of me who was the heir apparent. You know, he was going to be the next varsity quarterback. And I didn't think I was going to ever have a chance to play, you know, or start. And so there was a moment my sophomore year where literally my mom picks me up from training camp and we drive home and I'm like, Mom, I think I'm going to quit football. And she's like, why? And I say, well, look, I don't think I'm ever going to get an opportunity. You know, why am I wasting my time with this? I could be focused on basketball and baseball. You know, I'm going to be the next Ted Williams or King Griffey Jr. or Nolan Ryan or Satchel Paige. Like, I mean, I was a baseball guy. And she's like, look, you know, you never know when your opportunity will come. And I know you love I know these are all your close friends. I know you love being part of the team. You know, stick with it. We can reevaluate at the end of the year, but you never know when your opportunity will come. And then sure enough, that the guy in front of me gets hurt, you know, like a week later. And then all of a sudden I'm thrust in the starting job and the rest is history. But still, even at that point, you know, I loved baseball. You know, that was really my first love. And I thought that was going to be my path, you know, for the longest time as a kid. So, you know, what if it would have been baseball, right?
Mm-hmm. Drew is here on behalf of DirecTV for Business. We'll get to that. We'll have him tell us about that in a moment here. Your career path is fascinating. You, San Diego, essentially, you know, didn't want you anymore. Miami wanted you, but then Miami's doctors advised the team not to sign him, and you wind up in New Orleans, and the rest, of course, is history. When did you realize, once you signed with New Orleans, when did you realize, oh, I'm really grateful that this is the way things have worked out?
Well, there's a little bit of history with the Miami thing, you know, so, you know, I played against Saban 3 times in college when he was at Michigan State, and then he goes to LSU, obviously wins a national championship, and then gets the job with the Dolphins. And so, look, I really liked Coach Saban, and I would have loved to have played for Coach Saban. And man, I had a great experience with him and his staff. You know, Jason Garrett was on that staff, Mike Malarkey, Hudson Houck was the O-line coach, who was our O-line coach with his Chargers for a little bit. So, like, man, there were so many great things about that. To your point, I think it was really the doctors that just had their doubts with me coming off of that major, you know, shoulder injury that I had. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I felt like I belonged in New Orleans, just, you know, given everything that city had gone through, knowing the opportunity there and how much they believed in me. And I really needed that, you know, at that time in my career. I'm a uber confident person, and yet coming off that injury, you know, that really tested, you know, so much of, I think, my beliefs in myself, and they empowered me with that. And so, you know, it was a long off season because, you know, I was told when I first had the injury, you know, Dr. Andrews puts me back together, but he's like, hey, you're not going to throw for 8 months and you're not going to feel normal for 2 years. And I'm like, well, what the heck does that mean, Doc? And he's like, it's hard to explain. You just have to just commit yourself to the rehab, and you got to go through it yourself. And so, man, going through training camp that year was touch and go. Like, it was, you know, I'd come out for warm-ups and I'd just be bouncing slant routes, you know, and I know Sean Payton was, you know, I know everybody was looking at Sean Payton like, hey, man, are you sure about this guy? And it was like slowly, day by day, it just got a little bit stronger, a little bit better. You know, 1 or 2 throws a day turned into 5 throws, turned into 10 throws that felt normal. And then all of a sudden, you know, I was there, you know. But, man, it's funny. Like, I go back to that 2006 season with the Saints, where we ended up going to the NFC Championship game and losing to the Bears in Chicago. But we got absolutely blasted in every game in the preseason. I mean, like, torched. Like, to the point where we all were looking at each other like, we may not win a game, you know? And then couple that with the feeling like, man, we have such a responsibility to instill a sense of hope and pride in our fan base, given everything that they're going through, you know, coming off of Katrina. And so, man, it was, I don't want to say it's high pressure. It was just like high responsibility. Like, man, we have to do this for them. We have to do this for them. And then we go and we beat the Browns like 19-14 week 1. And then we have a big comeback win against the Packers in Green Bay against Favre, and they were a playoff team. And then we come back on Monday Night Football, and that's the Steve Gleason block punt, September 25th, 2006. And from there, it was like, oh my gosh, we're 3-0. And like, I think we could be pretty good. And I mean, we were totally riding on the emotions, I think, of our city and our fan base and just that resurgence. And then we had a special year, you know, and that really began to build the foundation by which, you know, we felt like we could be a special team if we just put, you know, some more pieces together.
Hall of Famer Drew Brees here with us on behalf of DirecTV for Business. Drew, tell us why you have partnered with DirecTV for Business.
Yeah, so I am an owner and partner in Walk-On's Sports Bistro, which is one of the fastest growing sports bar concepts in the country. We've been around for 10 years, started in Louisiana. Great food, great energy, great atmosphere. But of course, people come to Walk-Ons to watch the games and to have community. And DirecTV for Business provides every sport content that you can imagine, for businesses, whether it's bars, restaurants, sports bars, and of course, walk-ons. And we're very proud to partner with DirecTV for Business.
Drew, quarterbacks never throw a perfect game. When you were making your speech in Canton, I'm curious if you had the perfect speech, or when you stepped off the stage, did you immediately realize, oh my gosh, I forgot to mention this person or that person?
Again, it was, how do I properly convey all my feelings and emotions in the amount of time that I'm given, and I went through that speech so many times, in my mind. I really felt like I started writing that speech years ago. Honestly, I'd be working out, I'd be riding my bike, I'd be doing something, or I'd be driving in a car, where I'm like just deep in thought. And all of a sudden I would have the perfect words that I would want to say. And I would immediately just write it down, in like the notes section on my phone. And so when I started writing the speech, I had this entire notes section of all these little tidbits that I wanted to include. And so now it was a matter of how do you put that together into a format that it flows, and it's like telling a story, and people can just be along for that ride with you, and then just properly convey all the thank yous that I would want to convey. So man, there was so much that went into it, and man, a lot of tears. Like honestly, I'd be working out in the weight room and something would come to my mind. I'd just start crying. Driving in the car, like in an airplane. I was on a commercial flight the other day, and I just like started crying in first class. So many emotions, as you think about that moment, because you recognize how important that moment is and how many people are going to be watching forever, so what do you want to convey, and how do you want to convey it?
Drew, real quick here, because we know that you got to get going, but maybe on your way out here, you could help us out with something we were wondering. Do you have any idea what the numbers at the gas station mean, the 87, 89, 93? Any idea?
So that's it basically like your, basic unleaded, premium, super unleaded, so just how clean it burns, like high performance cars need the super unleaded, right? And then of course you got your green, you got your diesel. I got a F-250 turbo diesel. So I got to remember, the green is the diesel, and that goes in the truck, right? Or else it'd be problems. That's kind of the gist of it. And that if you're in California, that is really expensive. You might as well be buying, like high price champagne, except you're just buying gas. Yeah.
That's why you're
sum it up?
That's why you're in the Hall of Fame.
There he goes.
Drew Brees, thanks for joining us. Congrats on all of your success.
Thanks, guys.
You have been dry humped many, many times.
A little pelvic thrust situation.
I like that.
Have you ever consoled a naked man before?
What does it feel like to get dry humped?
I saw pee-pee.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Breathing hot neck.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
I saw pee-pee.
People out there, stop sending me pictures of the hotel rooms with the chair, okay? Stop sending those to me.
I like that. I like that.
He was naked,
Intimate.
dangling.
I would hold that thing really tight.
How would you do it?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck?
That got a back.
Do you like breathing hot neck?
I've been dry humps.
You never know.
I've been dry humps.
Many, many times.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Have you ever consoled a naked man?
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
You never know. I like that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Tony's about to leave because he's headed to go see if he can talk to Giannis and Bobby Portis. But I think there's a problem in that these guys are doing a lot of media today. And I heard Zaz grumbling because I think that
Dan, I'm sitting at the table out there. You know, we're doing production stuff. I'm finishing my bagel. Tony's finishing.
So I'm really disappointed that we didn't get more time with Drew
I had
Brees.
more questions.
I had more questions, but I had one specific. I actually looked at you and said, I have time for one more. You said it's got to be small. I said, this won't be small.
Hey, yo.
He and I tore the same ligament in the same thumb at the same time. Like the same weekend, I tore my ulnar collateral ligament in my thumb. He tore his. He was back on the field like 5 weeks later. I was out for months. For months, I saw it a cast on. This dude was out there playing football. And it was like, well, Drew Brees did it. Like, it's the worst time to tear your UCL in your thumb because everyone who watches football knew what that was. If I said anything else, anytime, people were like, what's an ulnar collateral ligament? But I was going to ask him if he still has feeling right here in the middle of his, because I don't. Right here, it's numb. I never got the feeling back.
How did it happen to you?
I was playing soccer in Steve Nash's charity tournament. And the funny thing was, I was like, oh, man, I've had a great day, no injuries. It was the last game. It was a championship game. I said, I'm going to play a little bit, and then I'm going to tap. I'm going to sub out and never come back in. And literally just the act of changing directions. Like I was jogging lightly this way, and the ball goes over my head, and so I turn. But my body's like, whoa, no one ever said anything about changing directions. My body locks up. I fall, and I land on my thumb, and I hear it go like a perforated paper going. That's what it felt like.
Okay, so it wasn't a handball, at least.
No.
Okay.
It was me trying to brace myself as I fell to the ground.
Okay.
Amin also has a top 5 for us today. What's it even on? What do you got?
Like the revelation that Drew Brees was a hell of a baseball player and thought he was going to be a baseball player reminded me of this documentary I saw years ago called In Search of Greatness. And it was talking about all these athletes, Jerry Rice and Wayne Gretzky and all these guys who were like, what was your development like, your high school, your youth like? Because they're trying to figure out how do people become great. And one of the great revelations, like almost every great player played a different sport growing
Tom
up.
Brady played baseball.
Yeah.
Dan Marino did as well.
And so, you know, Wayne Gretzky said, my dream was to be a Major League Baseball player. He said, as soon as hockey season was over, I'd throw my stuff in the garage, I'd pick up my mitt, and I never looked back. He thought he was going to play in MLB. He ends up being the greatest baseball player of all time. So I have in my possession right here the greatest guys that baseball could have had if it weren't for the other sport.
Wow, okay.
Right? So got some all eyes here. All eye. Gene Conley.
My lady.
Gene Conley is the only guy to win 3 NBA championships and a World Series as a player.
Wow.
Yeah, but this was a million years ago, so that's why he's an OLI. OLI, Dave DeBusschere.
My lady.
Obviously, Dave DeBusschere, Basketball Hall of Famer, and he was apparently a hell of a baseball player. OLI, Danny Ainge.
My lady.
Oh, Danny Ainge. He was like a hotshot baseball prospect. All right, moving into our top 5. Number 5, Drew Brees.
My lady.
And this is you just learning about
I just
Drew
learned
Brees.
it. He's number 5 already.
And he makes the top
How about
5.
Yep. Number 4, T-Mac.
My lady.
Tracy
Really?
McGrady, hell of a pitcher.
Really?
Baseball, to this day, he'll say baseball is my favorite sport. The idea that like, your favorite sport is not the one that you're in the Hall of Fame for, it's pretty crazy.
Can you imagine 6'8"?
Dog. On the mound?
Yeah. Randy Johnson,
Yeah. Number 3, Wayne Gretzky.
My lady.
Just talked about him a little bit before. Number 2, Tom Brady.
My lady.
Imagine Tom Brady was a baseball player. He'd be like Glavine, though, right? Or Maddox. He'd be like a lot of.
Drafted by the Expos.
Yeah. And then the number 1 guy that baseball could have had, except he was too great at another sport, it's Michael Jordan. Come on, guys.
My mother.
What?
Wow, John Elway doesn't make the list, huh?
No, John Elway.
No, you just forgot him.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray definitely doesn't make. Go play Call of Duty, kid.
Mr. Unlimited.
What about Jameis Winston?
No, Jameis.
Forgot about Jameis. He was a good pitcher
Hell
for
of a
FSU.
pitcher, yeah, good arm.
Got a rocket for an arm. Jay Buhner.
Pat Burrell. The opposite.
Pat Burrell.
The opposite?
Didn't Pat? He played a different sport.
Tom Glavine, the opposite.
I'm pretty sure Pat Burrell, who played baseball, played a different sport in college.
The good news is tomorrow's a Wednesday.
Oh,
I
no,
feel
no,
like a Tuesday.
This is a play on. This is fine. We've been fine today. This is a good Monday.
Well,
Sure about that?
I mean, you had a couple moments early on.
Steve Martin also.
Nah.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, that one wasn't great.
Right.
In addition to.
Yeah.
You going on any rides at Epcot over the weekend?
I only went on one.
Which one?
Ratatouille.
That's it, really? No Soarin'?
I love that ride.
Soarin' is great when it's hot as hell and
No.
you get in there and you just cruise. And then you have
Ratatouille is the best.
Yeah, Ratatouille's great. Anyways, guys, there's no off season for sports fan. One night it's baseball. The next it's golf, soccer, or racing. And DraftKings Sports has you covered for all of it. The DraftKings Sports app, now available in all 50 states, bringing the action straight to your fingertips wherever you are. New DraftKings customers sign up with code DAN. Spend $5 and get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That includes all markets. That's code DAN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.